Baruch atah Yahuwah Eloheinu melech haolam. Blessed are you, Yahuwah our Elohim, King of the universe. Father, we give all praise and glory and honor unto your name. You are our living Elohim, and there is none other but you. Thank you for the day of sunshine. Thank you to hear the birds again. Thank you, Father, for smell, for sight. Thank you, Father, for movement in our bodies. Thank you, Father, for our families, our loved ones, our brethren. Thank you, Father, for the hope that you have instilled and put within our hearts, that we have set our heart to Zion. Father, we ask a blessing upon the whole house of Israel. You know where our people, your people, are scattered. You know where the children of Israel have been locked up in the dens and prison houses of different sorts. And I pray, Father, that you will deliver us from this captivity and make the time short and destroy these enemies around. And Father, I pray that you will set up the kingdom of Israel that we have been waiting for such a long time. May your name be praised forever. May you grant us peace. May you bless my lips that I can speak your words and fill our hearts with joy. In Yeshua's name we pray. Amen. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us for our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Again, Shabbat Shalom. I have prepared, or will be doing a uh, a class on the 10 virgins. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch on some of those today, but then I will do another class on it with a little bit more uh, detail, I would say. How many of y'all have read the parable or the sayings about the 10 virgins? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a class on that, and y'all are probably wondering, what does the 10 virgins have to do with the picture on the screen? Let me see if anyone can guess, and then we will take it from there. Let's start with the chat room. Anyone can guess, what does the imagery have to do with the 10 virgins? Well, first of all, tell me, let me turn the microphones up for everyone else. Tell me, family, if the top of your head. Okay, one says Easter. All right, that's a good. What does the well, Easter because of what? The rabbit. What about the tortoise? One says the race to the marriage supper. Okay, that's good. Racing. They all started a race together. That's good too. So-called Easter. Okay. You need John the Baptist. One thing about John the Baptist is he teaches all about repentance. Now, if you need Samson, I can get you Samson also. And Samson will take down walls. All right. And carry, okay. All right, let's take a look to see what our family is saying. The race is not for the swift, for those who endure to the end. That's great. Thank you so much, Brother Benjamin, Who will endure to the end? Hallelujah. I haven't figured out the turtle out yet. Okay. Hmm? The tortoise and the hare?
There's a story about that. The bunny basically represents the foolish, and the tortoise the wise. They have a story about
Mm-hmm.
the rabbit being, just being quick about trying to get to the point without really thinking, resting, relaxing himself when he's supposed to be being focused on his journey.
Okay.
So that's the foolish. And then the tortoise, was he stayed focused, and he stayed on his journey, and he got there to the end.
Okay.
He
Okay.
he endured all the way to the end and
So
got there first.
let me just cover some of what the Mishpachah is saying in the chat. Not the swift nor the strong. The race is not for the swift, but those who will endure long. How well we know our scriptures, suppose to study to show ourselves, I guess, approved, enduring until the end. In the story, the turtle wins. Being ready when the king comes, slow and easy is the race. That's great. Strive to enter, prepare for the long haul. So that's pretty much, family, the theme behind it. When we when we look at the season of Passover, most of the times we focus on the ceremonial stuff, but there was a lot of other things that revolved or even evolved around it. A lot of events and a lot of things that were happening, and we will take a little time, not too much, to look at some of these things also. And we will be able to see, family, that the theme of Passover with the swift and the 10 virgins and so forth is still occurring today. For the record, family, I have been teaching the Torah for quite a long time, over 20 years. I would say, if I have to give a guesstimate, it'll be about 30 years of teaching the Torah. And I know that as a teacher, when I was a child and I attended school, I understood that there is a relationship between the student and the teacher. Is that correct? If there's anything that you need to know, any questions, you would talk to the teacher to find out any misunderstandings, anything that needs to be cleared up. You go to the teacher and you have some dialogue. And we know very well that as a student, we complete our courses. Now, if you leave before the time is up, do you expect to receive any certificates, any paperwork to certify that you have accomplished what you have learned? Does the teacher follow that student for the rest of their lives after they have left the school to see if they are applying the math and the English or the science or whatever it is? Hmm? Do they follow the student wrong? No, they don't. But it's required that there must be some completion. However, sometimes you'll find students, what they would do is that they will presume that they have learned what they need, and then guess what they will do? They will leave and say, "This is all I need." One thing that I've learned about Yeshua is that he didn't explain or teach the multitude everything for a reason. And within his followers, he had another group within a group. And certain mysteries were revealed only to that group. And even when he gave them the mysteries, the Bible tells us that they didn't understand anything until after the resurrection, way after. Now, what does that say for the record? What does that say? Now, there were also disciples that when Yeshua, and I will tell you this for the record, I know it is so easy for us to say, if I was there, I would be one of the best disciples. But the fact remains, family, that if someone speaks to you and tell you to eat their flesh and drink their blood, you would be the first one to cast a stone. As a matter of fact, when the bread and fish were given out, Yeshua would have been the best teacher, the best rabbi, the best master that you will ever want. Because after all, he can pull money out of a fish's mouth. He can give you food when you're hungry. If you break your ankle, he will heal it on the spot. And so the benefits of following a master teacher on that light, that side, is very good. There's a lot of perps to it, right? Benefits. But when the master teacher brings out something a little bit different than you're accustomed to, now all of a sudden, guess what happened? The people don't like it so much. Do you know, when I was in school, and I'm sure you all can vouch for that from your own personal experience, I remember when I got to, forgot what grade it was, but in the science class, the teacher told us, brought this little container with a frog in it, and opening up the thing and says, today's class, you have to dissect this thing. And the smell of this thing, and just from being raised a young Hebrew, we don't touch those things. We don't mess around with those things. And you know, you would prefer to fail that particular thing. Well, I don't know about you, but I know I just didn't want to mess with that stuff. Okay. But here's the thing that I want to share with you all, that I want you all to get the sense from. Brother Yona did not leave the class. Brother Yona did not uh, say, well, this is madness to the teacher. Brother Yona just did what he had to do and continued on. And in spite the situation, was able to move on to much higher learning. I don't know if that makes any sense. Does it make any sense to you all? So 5 was wise and 5 was foolish. On the screen, you have the Fast and the Foolish. Have you ever seen the movie The Fast and the Furious? Well, this is the Fast and the Foolish. You have 5 that was wise and 5 that was foolish. And then you have a journey from Egypt, and then you have 40 years of a people that were wandering for a long time. You know what is sad about when you look at Passover? Most of the times we don't see what was occurring. We don't really look and see the reflection of ourselves in the events that transpired before the Exodus and even slightly after the Exodus. Because that moment of time was a reflection or echoed or rippled throughout the history of Israel and is still rippling even today. Sometimes I wonder if Israelites will ever get it right. I wonder because we still haven't reached the promised land as yet. We still haven't reached there as yet. We still have some time, some energy that has to be put together, and we still have to press on. Now, I've been teaching for a very long time now, and sometimes when you stop to ask certain questions, you have a blank stare. I know that when I was a child and there was a year end, the teacher would sit with the students and do what we call a review. Is that correct? To analyze what you have learned over the past. Now, can you imagine? And we're going to go to Matthew 25. So just get yourself ready. Matthew 25, 1 to 12. Can you imagine that when Moses was shut up into the building, wherever building he was in, the house he was in, one of the things that Moses said to the little ones, because they will ask you a question, what is the reasons for us being locked up and all of these things here? Moses wanted, and I'm just paraphrasing it because this is more like a review today. He wanted the people, the children, to remember, to reflect, because family, I think that if you were born into slavery and all you knew in your life was slavery, and your parents were born into slavery and that's all they knew, and your grandparents with you were also slaves, you would think that you have a lot of things to reflect on. And you'd also think that you have a lot of things to look forward to. And if someone shows up and says that they will deliver you, that they were sent to bring you out of captivity, you would expect that if that person can prove that and has gotten you thus far, at least get you across one side, you're not over the finish line as yet, but you have some movement. You would think, family, that you would take that opportunity because, after all, no one has ever showed up and delivered you before. Let me put it this way. Can you imagine that you have a group of people in prison? They don't know a way to get out. Uh, and someone shows up and says to them, I know a way. I have the key. We'll get out of prison. And you make it past the guards. You make it outside um, the prison walls. And now you are far away in the bushes. You can probably see a little bit of the prison in a distance. But as soon as you get out from the prison, the same people that couldn't find their way out have now decided that, thank you very much for your help. You have given us what we needed so far, and we're going to head in our own direction. In other words, for some reason, wisdom hits them after they receive certain things. In other words, the person was just used as a tool to get them out. But they didn't have any brilliant ideas before that. They didn't have any understanding before that. It is only when they got out, then and smell the fresh air, then all of a sudden they have all of these brilliant ideas. We will cover that in the scriptures. I'm just setting things up a little bit. The tortoise and the hare. The hare is soft, it's cuddly. The tortoise, ancient, old, hard. Nobody really cares too much for the tortoise. Doesn't move as fast. As a matter of fact, look at his legs. The front legs is the highest part, and for the hare, the back legs is the highest part. The tortoise has to drag himself while the hare can just leap and bounce. The tortoise has the energy to sprint. I mean, the hare has the energy to sprint, to take off real fast, whereas the tortoise is like he's moving so slow. And when are we going to get there? Sometimes, family, in the world of cartoon, the tortoise is laughed at. And sometimes the laugh is not too loud. It's a subtle laugh. It's a subtle type of mockery. But it's enough mockery that you can know that you've been laughed at. In this picture here, you can see how the tortoise is depicted as old, sweating, or as the rabbit has on that, you know, it looks like this is an old-fashioned cartoon, so he has on this, you know, the sports outfit. Sometimes they have the team number on it or stuff like that. Okay, the jersey, that's, yeah, old school jersey. But the tortoise is old school, and such like. Anybody can tell me how old Moses was when he started to bring the children of Israel out? Anybody know? How old was he? Do you think that an 80-year-old man would be the hare or the tortoise? Which one would you apply, Moses? Huh? Okay. Why did the Most High use a tortoise, an old school dude? Anybody?
Experience, wisdom.
Experience, wisdom. Hmm. That is interesting. 80-year-old man. And how long did he spend with the children of Israel?
40.
Another 40 years on top of that. All right. The Bible, wisdom is known of her children. Let's go to the book of Matthew 25. Let's read 1 to 13. And then we'll go through some things. I'm going to do another mystery of the virgins. But I want to kind of breeze through this a little bit as a review. You're going to understand what this means if you haven't done so already. You will. All right. So let's start at verses 1.
Shalom, shalom, family. Shabbat shalom. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom.
So they all have lamps. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Everybody have lamps. So there's no problem here. And you notice it says they went forth. So they're traveling. Is that correct?
Correct.
They're on a journey. All right. So they're all travelers. It wasn't Israelites traveling.
Yes.
And all of the Hebrews have their goods when they spoiled Egypt. They had everything that they needed for the journey. All right. Continue on.
And 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish.
So now the Bible is telling us that there were half was wise and the other half was considered foolish. Let's continue.
They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them.
So you have one group that was, I guess they believed, well, let me ask you, what do you think happened here that they would decide, this five would decide they don't need any? All right, let me put it this way. If you, as a traveler, if you're traveling on a long journey, what type of suitcases, or would you have one or two suitcases? Two?
At least two.
Okay. If you're going for a short period, would you even carry a suitcase?
It's just a bag, a night bag or
So
something.
it'll be a quick thing, right?
Mhm.
So do you believe that perhaps the foolish ones were just thinking that this is going to be over real quick?
Yes.
Now, if you notice the tortoise again, what is unique about the tortoise? Tell me. Let's do comparison.
He's patient.
He has
a
what?
a shell on his back, a backpack, sort of like.
He has a shell for protection,
Yes.
but what else does he have?
He has
Oh,
a hat on
tell
his
me
head.
about the shell. What is it about the shell?
Protection.
Protection. What
Covering.
else? Let's see. He carries his house with him. That's the answer I'm
Yes.
looking for, Brother Benjamin.
Yes.
Just answered it.
Yes.
He carries his house with him.
Yes.
Whereas the hare, what does a hare do?
He doesn't have anything.
He have confidence in the
Confidence.
holes.
Yes.
Okay? Confidence. There are two different types of confidences is being explored here. Okay? All right, let's go back. So you have those that were considered foolish. They took their lamps with them, but they didn't take any provisions for the long haul.
Mhm.
Let's continue.
But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps.
Uh-huh.
And while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept.
So everyone, both the wise and also the foolish, everybody fell asleep. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. But is sleep a bad thing?
No.
Okay. All right. But we're going to see how it's going to change. And we're going to go into some history. Right? Read on.
And at midnight there was a cry made,
Mm-hmm.
Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps.
So everyone trimmed their lamps. What is the reasons for trimming the lamp?
You get rid of the burn stuff.
You get rid of what?
The old burnout stuff, used stuff.
So it can burn brighter.
Brighter,
Get rid of the
yes.
old stuff so it
Right.
can burn brighter. So
Mhm.
one sleep can be a bad thing at the wrong time. That is correct. The air has too much pride. Fine. All right. Okay. So now when you trim your lamp, as an old school person, people who use kerosene, because I don't think too many Hebrews, especially in the chat, ever had the experience of using a kerosene lamp day in and day out as part of their culture. Now, what is the procedure? Let's have Dod Shemuel speak a little bit. What is the procedure? What is the reasons for trimming the lamp, the wick?
As I said before, those days the lights will work have the kerosene oil will have salt in it.
Salt, okay.
Yes. So when the salt gets on the wick after it refuses to light,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to cut the wick. But before that, if you keep doing that, you have to wash it clean. So that when you wash it, you cut it, so that it will start to be.
So it has salt in the thing.
Right.
Is that correct, Ima? It depends.
Salt, I know for salt.
You know about the salt.
Because
Okay.
when I get on your hand, you touched it.
Okay.
It's salt, very salt.
And you wash it.
You wash
This
it.
is a used wick.
Yes.
Okay. So a brand new one, you don't trim it?
No, because it don't have nothing in it.
There's nothing in it. Okay.
But this, before you get to further, can I say something on the same thing?
Well, let me finish up with the thing. So you trim it, and once you trim it, what happens?
Once you trim it and you have the oil in the lamp
Uh-huh.
and it light. First of all, when it started light, it's still a little bit before it can catch itself. When the oil get then that started light, it will keep on burning bright.
Okay. All right. That's
But
all.
with the one that is not trimmed, then eventually it would not light at all. It would stay dim at all times. There's something I would like to say, and
You want me to go back?
no, you can stay right there because we're still on the subject. Um, with the two virgins, we see they were virgins too. They said one was wise and one was foolish.
One group was wise.
Right. The
One
reason
group
why
was
he was
foolish.
foolish, he didn't take the oil. But the point is that I looked to see that the one that took the oil had in his mind, because he said, I don't know how long it would take, but the scripture said it was at midnight. So that means that the place that they were at was very dark.
Okay.
That is why that they had that this started light the lamp so they can see. Now these guys don't have no light to see, so that's a problem.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sister. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Good to see you.
Yes. The reason I know why they trim the wick, because I grew up without electricity, and that part is already used up. So you cannot add light to that. It is dead. So you have to cut it off
Mm.
and bring it to a newer portion of that wick so you can light it again. And what comes to my mind is when Christ said that you cannot put new wine into old bottles, they will burst, or you cannot put a new cloth to an old garment, it will tear.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically that's what I'm getting.
The
from
same
it.
principle.
The same principle of the old wick and
All
the
right.
new wick.
Thank you so much. And in the chat, it says, you save the wick, you trim the wick, less oil burning, the light will burn brighter. Mm-hmm. Okay. Sooth, less sooth, sut, or whatever you call it, in the that smoke, that black thick smoke that poisons. Okay. So if you don't trim it, it releases a whole lot of poisons from the smoke, smoking up the room, and you're not able to see, and sometimes it can kill you. Okay. All right. Let's move on to verses 8.
And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out.
So they made a demand. They says, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. Okay, let's continue on.
But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves.
So go to those that are selling the product and buy for your own selves. Okay. Now this is a challenge, because who's gonna have their stores open at midnight? You know of anyone? I mean, we got Walmart now, but can you imagine what it'll be like to be in total darkness? But let me ask you this question: if it's midnight, it's dark outside. Do you think there's a certain level of training that a person need to know how to light a lamp in the dark without causing an accident? Do you think that is also part of the process? Okay, you have to be able to identify, to know what you're handling, so that you can, light and do whatever it is. You have to know where everything is, where the match or whatever that you use to light it with. You have to know. You have to be able to feel your way through stuff. Okay. Yes.
It's like you have a map of your house in your head.
Yes.
And you know exactly where you put everything. You can close your eyes and kind of feel your way, and you know exactly where it is. So that's what we used to do home. You know everywhere. So if you have to get up in the dark, you know exactly where to go, because you're familiar with your surroundings.
Okay. Yes.
I could add to that. You see, when you got the match and you strike it on the box, you must see light. And it is not the light in the lamp is not too hard, because when you take off, if you have a chimney, some people don't have, some chimney break. If you have the chimney, lift the chimney up, you could see because you strike the match. So you just put it on.
So you had good eyes then.
No, when
see.
you strike the match,
It gives you
you
a
got
little
light.
bit of
Okay.
light.
So then
But you
it's
can
only
see.
going to the part where the wick is.
I
And
got
when you
you.
like that, it would. But again, if the wick is not good, you could light it from now to then.
It's not gonna.
Nothing gonna work.
It's not gonna be helpful. All right. Okay. Okay. We don't want to spend too much time in the wick, but we just want to make some references or just some pointers. Let us continue.
Verse 10.
Uh-huh.
And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Adonai, Adonai, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not.
Mm-hmm.
Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh.
All right. So you have two groups again. One group did not make preparation. I guess they believed within themselves that they had sufficient to get them on their journey, while the other one took some extra measures and have some supplies in order and was ready just in case, whether it's a short or a long journey. So they were there for the long haul, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but everybody slept. That's true. That's correct. Because even a tortoise or here, everybody has to rest at some point. The resting is not so much the problem. It's the slumbering. It's not the sleeping part or just taking a break, but it's a certain spirit that we have to be careful of. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 9. We'll read a few things first, and then we'll make some other pointers. Okay. So let me get Corinthians up. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, and we'll read verses 24 to 27.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and read.
Know ye not that they which run in a race run all?
Everyone is running with all that they have. They're running with all that they have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Read.
But one receiveth the prize.
Mm-hmm.
So run that you may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate
Is
in all
what?
things. Temperate.
What does that mean?
To be.
Go ahead, sis. To be in moderation. Okay, to be in moderation. What else, brother? Now, I can listen to, give Brother Pincus the microphone for a second. If there's anybody here amongst the whole body assembly that knows anything about racing, it's Brother Pincus. So talk to us, Brother Pincus.
Yes. It can also mean trained
Mm-hmm.
in the discipline.
Training in a discipline. Okay. So you have to have self-control. You have to know when, how, and everything else. Okay. Now, Usain Bolt, very famous guy, right? Very powerful athlete. Did he come about racing, or did he come to his stardom on his own?
No.
So how did he arrive at that? Grab the mic, sis. What did he need?
He had a coach.
He had a what?
He had a coach.
Do you think most athletes have a coach?
Yes.
And even when they win a prize,
Mm-hmm.
do they say, okay, I won the prize, I'm done with the coach?
No. And actually his first coach I read recently, he never showed him his time. He saw that he was that good, and he never showed Usain Bolt his time because he knew it would get to his head. And so he just kept training him.
So he knew that Usain Bolt, as a young runner, if he saw how fast he was, he would have gotten a little bit arrogant,
Yes.
beside himself,
Yes.
and mess up his own training.
Mm-hmm.
So the coach withheld that information
Yes.
in order to make him a better
Mhm.
performer in a race. Is that
Mhm.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, sister. I'm saying that for a reason. I'm saying that for a reason. Because amongst the house of Israel, there is a lot of people who believe they don't need the coach. The coach is basically, as long as I can prove I can run, we don't need a coach. We don't need a tutor. We don't need that anymore. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Can you show where Yeshua says, I'm going to send a comforter, and as a matter of fact, nobody needs to be taught anymore. But you don't need a teacher. You don't need any guidance. The comforter is going to take care of everything. Can you find that?
No. He said he gave them teachers according to his own heart.
According to who?
His own heart.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand, because this is a review. Let's look at what we're talking about today as a review. What is the sense for a teacher to continue adding layers and layers and layers and layers of all types of teaching, and then when the time comes to exercise this in practice, it fails. There's a breakdown. There's a failure. Shaul had a teacher. We'll get to that too, brother. So read 25 again, please.
And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things.
Uh-huh.
Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
It wasn't customary for Hebrews to have these marathons and Olympics and all kinds of stuff. This is a Greek and Roman culture that Shaul is born from, for those Hellenized Hebrews, to make some points to them, teach them some things about the Torah. Let's continue on.
I therefore so run, not as uncertainly.
So he knows with confidence that he's running for a prize. Okay, read.
So fight I,
Uh-huh.
not as one that beateth the air.
You can look at it two different ways. If you are an athlete running, you are actually going against the wind. But you're not doing that just because you want to beat against the air. You have an objective. You have a goal to reach. Or if you're a boxer, you're not just punching at shadows. You want to be able to hit the target. The point of the matter is, it's all about arriving at the place to win the prize, to hit the target. Okay, you're not fighting against nothing. 27.
But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway.
So not only is he speaking about temperance or having self-control for others, he's also speaking to himself, saying, you know, I need to apply this thing to myself. Otherwise, I'm going to be cast out. We have an example of someone who was left out. Anybody remember? What's his name? One of the best teachers that besides Yeshua. He was cast out. He didn't make it in.
You mean Moshe?
Mm-hmm.
Moshe.
Moses didn't make it in. Moses spent a whole lot of time teaching others, and he himself did not make it in. Let's get Hebrews chapter 12. And let us pick it up at verses 1. Hebrews 12, and we'll read verses 1.
Hebrews 12 and 1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us.
Let's stop for a moment. What does it mean, cloud of witnesses? What is he saying here?
We've had the Torah.
They had what?
They had the Torah.
A cloud of witnesses. I made it a little bit bigger so everyone can see it. A cloud of witnesses. What does that mean?
The Torah, the prophets.
You have the,
apostles.
let's see, anyone in the chat room can answer that? Cloud. What is a cloud? Peoples, multitudes of people. Thank you, Sister Tamar. A multitude of people as what? Examples, witnesses. They saw things, were eyewitnesses. They actually lived, they were there. Okay? He says, let us lay aside every weight. So we have the examples of things in the past that kept people from entering in. We had examples of things in the past that tripped us up along the way and caused us to fall.
Correct.
Those things were like a weight.
That's
you
right.
You ever seen those runners that put these weights on their legs to run with all this weight? The military would put 100 pounds in a backpack. You know, you have to go through training with weights and weights and weights so that the time when it comes for you to run the race or to climb the mountain or to do whatever it is necessary, without those weights and stuff, you are light like a feather because you trained with all these things. So when you look back and you see how these people have been through all these things, that is an example that we should learn from to know, well, we don't need these burdens. We don't need these problems. We need to be able to lighten ourselves. We need to move forward. Okay, these things will keep us back. He says, and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with what?
Patience.
Patience. The race that is set before us with patience. We're going to show, family, because it's a great mystery, at least to me it is, how prisoners will want and have a desire to return back to prison. Return back to prison. That strange desire to go back to prison. He says, the race that is set before us. Our people were not, I think it was about 11 days journey, really, to go from Egypt to Israel, but it took 40 years. Dutch Moyle.
Could we put this with as an example, since we're speaking about Moses and such things? We see that when the children of Israel was came out of Egypt, matter of fact, and Pharaoh had come behind them to compass them, to Sodom, and to get scared, that the Lord caused the clouds to go behind of them, and a light to shine in front of them. So the cloud was a protection, so that when we keep going forward, then we know that God is our protection, and He would protect us if we continue to the end. I think that's what Paul is trying to give us in the book of Hebrews.
Okay, thank you. The Most High did protect Israel. The Most High did set a cloud by day and a fire by night to protect them. But you're going to see that there was always Hebrews who had other ideas. And this was basically like a wrench in a machine, okay, that messed up the whole thing. Let's continue, verses 2.
Looking unto Yeshua, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of Yahuwah. For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest he be weary and faint in your minds.
So he says, you can stop there. He says, lest you be wearied and faint in your minds. This will always occur if we don't have the right spirit. And this is why the Most High caused Israel to wander hopefully, you would think that people would have picked up on certain things and straighten themselves out. Let's get Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verses 11.
Oh, before you go there, I would underline the word joy that was said before. Full for the joy. That there.
Okay.
That's important.
Joy. Thank you, Ima. We'll see the opposite of that a little bit later on. So let's go to Ecclesiastes, not Sirach, but Ecclesiastes. And we're going to read chapter 9 and verses 11. I believe that's all I need. 9 and 11. Okay.
Ecclesiastes 9:11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift.
The race is not to the swift.
Nor the battle to the strong.
Mm-hmm.
Neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all.
We find basically that at most times people rely on their wits, their cunning, their strength, their stamina, speed, or whatever it is for them to win or to overcome. Okay, but you're not even sure about that, family. No one is 100% sure of what could occur during your travels. You might be a fast sprinter, and all of a sudden you get a what do you call a Charlie? Was it Charlie horse or whatever you call it? A cramp. You get a cramp, and then all of a sudden you can't move. You're good for all the times of the year, and all of a sudden now the time has come to run, and a cramp takes you, and you're gone. Seizure of some kind. Okay, you can be very strong, but all of a sudden something can happen to you. It could be something as tiny as a little fruit fly that can bring you down, go into your nostrils and mess you up, or into your eyes and mess you up. Mm-hmm. Okay, go into your mouth and mess you up.
It breaks your concentration and slows you down.
Shalom. Two things that with experience in my days, even to now at this time. Two things that a wise person will have: patience and endurance.
Patience and endurance.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Elder. Okay. Let's read verses 12. Let's read verses 12.
For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net,
mm-hmm.
and as the birds that are caught in the snare. So are the sons of men snared in an evil time.
Now, go ahead and read. I'm sorry.
When it falleth suddenly upon them.
Now, what are the connections between the bird and the fishes? Anyone knows?
They both came from the ocean.
They both came from the ocean?
Yes.
Okay, what day?
The water. On the 5th day.
On the 5th day. Thank you, Sister Mary. That was quick. Mm-hmm. What else, family? What is unique about the cunning of fish, and yet they're still caught in an evil net? And what is it about the birds that even a snare will catch them? Anyone knows?
Food. They're attracted
about, okay, but what do both of these creatures share that you would think? Let me rephrase it then.
Okay.
What is it about these two creatures that came on the 5th day that they relied on that didn't help them when they needed the help? What is it?
The birds fly in the air. They control the air, and the fish, they are in the ocean or in the sea, which man does not have. I mean, we're not equipped to fly like them and escape like them, or the fish.
Okay, so let me put it this way. You want to try, Dr. Mo?
Yeah, I think I could only say it to be one way.
Uh-huh.
The fish it was made to be eaten, because when you put the bait, you can catch them. They're not a fault that they think that they get some
Okay,
to
you
eat.
you going a different
And
direction, don't you?
oh, I'm sorry. Then I send the birds. I
But
know the birds the same way.
let
So
me
that's
go back here for a second. Maybe I'm not explaining it well enough. What's that, Kifa? Can you speak? Grab the mic, Kifa. Give Kifa the mic. I think
They both have speed.
they both have speed. That's what I'm looking for. Does that make sense? When you try to catch a bird, you know how difficult it is to catch a bird? You just can't, when you try to do this, they can sprint quick. Even a chicken that runs around, fowl. Try to catch a fish. It just takes off. But yet, the Bible says they're caught in an evil net or a snare. Because the problem is that we think because we are that quick, that sharp, that fast, that agile, and the tortoise is just heavy, slow. He's not light on his feet.
Old.
He's considered to be old. Now let's just put that to the side. Let's move on to the swiftness, the speed, the stamina. Let's get Proverbs 22 and 28. Proverbs 22 and 28. Let's see what it says.
Proverbs 22
and 28.
28.
Mm-hmm.
It says, remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set.
No, which the young bloods have set.
Thy fathers have set.
What is an ancient? What does ancient depict? What? And let's see who's thinking. The chat room.
That which has been from the beginning.
Let's see who's thinking. Ancient. What does ancient mean?
Years of experience.
Old?
No.
Okay.
That which have been from the beginning. Established from the beginning.
Experience, old experience. Okay. Ancient. Remove not the ancient landmark. Do you know, in order for something to be removed, there must be a discussion.
Yes.
There must be a discussion, right?
Yes.
People usually talk about it. They analyze it. They say, what? We don't need this. We don't need that. They start to, basically, in order for something to come up, something must go down. Mm-hmm. My boss used to tell me about positions in the workplace and whatnot and climb the ladder. But I realized real quick that in order for me to be on top of the ladder, I have to throw her down. You can't have two people on the same ladder. Is that correct, Elder? From experience. You ever seen two painters on the same ladder?
No.
At the top, the same.
You never experience an experience, but you never take a chance.
Uh-huh. It's very hazardous. It's very dangerous.
Yes.
But, Elder, the fact remains that, in order for you to put something up, in most cases, you start stripping something else down. We'll find that too as we go into the histories. But let's move on. So the Bible is saying, don't remove the ancient landmark because the Father said it. So I guess Noah was no good. I guess Shem was no good. I mean, you can call all these names and these people were like, they were no good.
They're old.
They're old.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Do you know that in ancient Israel, I'll give you an example. Jacob could not leave his parents' home until his parents gave him permission. Y'all know this?
That is correct.
Well, you're saying that because you're my wife.
No,
but I
true.
wonder if, this is a review, I wonder if Israelites really understand protocol. Do any of you all in the chat room, there's a lot of you all in the chat room. We got 47 people, at least 47, maybe it's less than that. Who knows? Do you all understand Hebrew culture and protocol? Do you know that Jacob couldn't leave his father's house unless he got permission?
Yes. Yes, it's respect.
And do you know that in most cases that when you ask certain questions, only certain people will answer, but the majority of them wouldn't, because they know how the truth operates. The Bible says that the word of the Most High is like a two-edged sword. Okay, it cuts. It cuts both ways. Okay, cuts both ways. Now, when Jacob went under Laban's house, you remember Jacob attempted to leave, right?
Yes.
And what happened?
Laban's. Yeah.
The Most High caused Laban to catch him.
Yes.
But then the Most High was the one who put within the spirit of Laban's heart, I should say, that Jacob has the right now to leave his house and let him go.
Yes.
He had to receive a blessing. That is the protocol in Israel. That's the ancient way. There are a lot of things our people really need to learn. And one of the things that I'm going to cover again, but I'm going to do it openly, is elders, the law pertaining to elders, how the system worked back then and how things work, how it was set up by the Most High, and why we're having so much problems in Israel today. And most of us don't see the danger that is coming, because sometimes when you try to have a conversation with a young person, sometimes it always doesn't work so well, because they don't have the experience to understand what you're talking about. To you, it says, oh, just a bunch of talk. Until they have children of their own, until they find themselves with responsibilities of their own, and they go through that situation, then they start to think, because a lot of times people would say, well, you're an old dude, old school. But where do you think you are in the timeline of events? Don't you know that you're going to be old school too? You think you're going to stay young blood forever? I want to know if this is how we're supposed to think, because we all grow and get old at some point. And the disrespect to the older ones will be a double disrespect to you.
Yes.
We have so many clouds of witnesses written in the scriptures. I don't know if we really understand what this is all about. We can go to King David, we can go to Solomon, we can go to many different places in the Bible that shows how things didn't go so well with Israel. Okay. Let us let's see where I want to go. Let us do this, family. Let us go to the book of Joshua, chapter 75. As a matter of let me see. Before we go to Joshua, well, let's go to Exodus. And let's go to, let me see where I want to go. We're going to go around the season of Passover, and we'll analyze a few things. Remember when, let me ask this question. Did Moses ever say to himself, Self, I want to go lead people out of captivity?
No.
Huh?
No.
Did Moses ever desire to be a leader over 3 million people? How can we prove that? There's a place that we can prove that Moses tried to wiggle his way out. Y'all remember what that is? Is it chapter 3 or 4?
Chapter 3. 3. No.
Huh?
Chapter 3.
Chapter 3. Let's go to chapter 3. Let's review some things, family, And let's see if it makes any sense at all. I know, for the record, I may be causing a little disturbance. I may cause some people to be angry with me. I don't think old tortoises like myself really care too much. But it's necessary for old tortoises to just keep it moving. Every year, we go through the process of reminding our people about the captivity and the promises to come. And every year, some of the people that you see one year, you're not going to see them the next year. You're always going to see some replacements. Someone will disappear after a little while. There's always going to be a Hebrew who says, "Now this is a hard saying. How can we take it?" Yes, sister, you want to say something?
I believe they gave an analogy like that. Some people are like leaves; they're just there for a season.
Ah, that's a good analogy, sis.
And then some are like the branches,
Mm-hmm.
and then some are like the roots.
Some are like the roots.
So, you have to accept whatever that person is in your life, because the Most High brought them in your sphere for a reason. And sometimes we get caught up with leaves and we miss those that are the trunks and the roots, those that will stick with you regardless of the temperature outside, whether it's winter or if it's summer, the root remains.
You're bringing a very good point, sister. Let me expound on it just a little bit. There's a saying about construction that if you dig a certain amount of feet below the surface of the earth, it's a constant temperature of, I think it's like 50 something degrees.
Mm-hmm.
It never gets colder. It doesn't get hotter unless there's a volcano underneath or something like that. But normally speaking, the temperature is consistent.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the roots are, right? Okay. All right. But the leaves are subject to change. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Environment and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes insects can get to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's look at Exodus 3. And
you can start from 10, 11.
Okay, so let's do that then. So this is Moses. Verses 1 said, and just to go through it real quick, he saw, verses 2 says he saw the bush that was not consumed.
Mm-hmm.
This is Moses. You all know the story. Now let's skip on down to verses 10. Okay.
It says, "Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt."
And what did Moses say?
And Moses said unto Yah, "Who am I?"
Wait a minute. Say that again one more time.
And Moses said unto Yahuwah, "Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt?"
I'm going to make a statement that I have tried and tested. When you take up the mantle and you follow after Yeshua, you will suffer persecution. You will have a lot of burdens to bear.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think this is some easy thing that you can just take and say, "Well, I'm going to do it." And then when the pressure comes on you behind, you can't deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many times I wanted to just walk away? You know how many times I've been told not to do so? I've been told constantly, and I'm not speaking about myself. I'm just speaking about what happens when you put on the mantle. This type of responsibility is not for everyone. I've seen too many champion type chariots go down the street, and all of a sudden you have a Ben-Hur situation. The thing just breaks apart and falls apart, and Marcellus finds himself under the same wagon that he put himself, bragging himself over. All the sharp blades he can cut, all the different sides he can cut. He's so focused upon the cutting that he loses his sight, his way. Now, hold that for me, sis. We'll get that. So Moses says, "Who am I?" He started to wiggle himself out. Did he want us to do anything? Let's see. Read.
And he said, "Certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee. when thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt. You shall serve Yahweh upon this mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses said unto Yah, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and they shall say unto me, the Elohim of your fathers have sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, what is his name? What shall I say unto them?
You know why Moses was saying this? Because Hebrews always need explanation.
Correct.
They always need everything to be mapped out. They need a plan from the beginning all the way to the end. Can you imagine Moses receiving the whole map? Okay, you're going to go this way, and then I'll open up the sea. Pharaoh's not going to know this, but since we have the plan, it's going to open up the sea, and you're going to go through quickly, and then I'm going to close it, and then we're going to stop at this point over here, and then we're going to go over here, and then we're going to go there, and here, and so forth. So can you imagine that Moses goes to the elders, and the Most High sent me to deliver you? And the elders is going to say, okay, so let's see the blueprint. Let's see the plan. Do you have a plan?
Mm.
Well, he just says he's going to deliver. He just says he's going to deliver you. But Hebrews, they need
A plan.
a plan. They always need to have. This is why it's called. Let me go back here for a second. Give me
Okay.
1 second. Sure, say something. Let me go back here real quick.
You know, if they had a plan or map, some Hebrews will take it and go give it to Pharaoh to let Pharaoh know what's going on.
That is possible.
Because what happened, you always have people who betray you. One of your own is always the one to betray you to the other side, because they'll pay you on the hand or something, because some of them did not want to leave Egypt.
Well, do you know that betrayal is part of the Passover
Yes, of course.
season?
Yes.
Betrayal is always part of it. It's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Betrayal is always, for some reason, it surrounds the same season of Passover.
Judas. Mm-hmm.
Now, on the screen again, you have the foolish five, and you have the faithful five. Which one is the foolish five? And the faithful five.
The foolish is the here.
What did the Bible say in Hebrews about faith?
Without works is dead.
What did it say about faith? What is faith?
Faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
The evidence of things not seen. So you don't have a blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a piece of paperwork.
No.
But you do what?
You hope.
Did the Most High give Abraham a blueprint?
No.
When he came from Ur?
No.
He didn't? Are you
No.
sure about that?
I'm sure. He just said to follow.
So
to leave your father's house and come to a land that I will show you.
Mhm.
He said that I will show you. He didn't show him the land yet.
Let's go back to the Torah. And let us see what the Torah is saying. All right, and you know, there's never a good plan for Israelites. It wouldn't make sense to them, right?
That's correct. It
And there's
wouldn't.
never a good plan for Hebrews. There's never a perfect plan for Hebrews. You bring one plan. The Most High gave Moses, okay, Moses, here's the plan, gives to them. This one is going to argue. This one is going to tell you this.
Yep.
That one's going to tell you all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
And yes, Elder. Elder, do you know we have to remove you from the room? And everyone else with gray beards?
The plan is obedience.
Uh-huh.
Obedience.
Obedience.
Yes, obedience covers all.
Mm. Well, let's see if there's any obedience. Let's see. Yes.
What I notice is that Most High wants us to follow step by step as He gives us instructions. Because as you said, if He were to give us the entire plan, no one has ever heard of anyone crossing over a sea dry shod. No one ever seen anything like that. It would make absolute nonsense to them. And right, and then to find out that most of you gonna die anyways when you go into they would not move. So he had to. So we have to learn to follow step by step and not expect everything to be given to us, because we may think we have the entire plan now, looking at back, but we may not have it because even Christ will have to teach us again. So we don't have everything. He's never ever going to give us everything. It's just like a mother feeding a child. She don't just stuff all the food in his mouth. It starts with milk, then gets a little mashed up soft food, then it gets a little harder and harder. And that's exactly how the Most High is leading us to the kingdom, step by step. And we have to be willing to just move step by step.
So we have a certain level of faith that, but some people will say, well, brother, what about blind faith? Blind faith. Ima, you want to say something?
Yes, it's just like when the disciples he got together and he asked them, tell them about, and he was telling them about what will happen, and they asked him when shall these things be, and then again, even to the point of when they was asking when he will return, because they wanted to know everything. He says, not for you to know the times and the seasons.
But you would have a problem, though. I think today, if a teacher says to their students, I'm not going to tell you everything, what do you think the success rate will be at that time?
Very low.
Very low.
Yeah.
But we're tested on what he has given us. We're not tested on what we don't know. That would not be a good teacher. So he's going to test us on the things that he has given us and he has taught us, and we are expected to know these things and to do them. It's just like a nurse. When you're doing the nursing program, you don't do everything at the same time. They give you certain information, they train you on it, and then they expect you to pass. It's a pass or fail with nursing. It's not a you barely, you made it, but you can give it an extra. No, you either pass or you fail. And it's the same thing with the Most High. He's not going to test you on what he has not given you. And sometimes he gives us the answer, just like with Moses. He said, choose, I give before you life and death. But guess what? Choose life. He gives us the answer. So we would be, we have no excuse not to make it in based on what we have been given. And, a lot of people worry about what they don't know. But what about just living what you already know?
Do you know that we already practice faith on a regular basis? Every time we send our children to school, that is an act of faith.
Yes.
No one goes behind the teacher and question anything.
Every time you step on a plane.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Every time you go on a plane?
Yes.
Huh.
You're going by faith. That is faith. About anything. Yeah. Even when you eating every day, you have no idea what's in the foods that you're eating.
We have a child, and we didn't have to receive directions. Okay, son, let me bring you here and let me show you how this thing works, how this process works. That doesn't happen. There's some things that the Most High will guide you on. You will know. You would know. Okay, the Most High will guide you. You would know what is for him and what is not. Yes, real quick.
But see, the Most High already gave you a map, and still they don't even believe.
What if everyone has their own map?
But that's the problem.
And what if you within yourself, and we will go to that too. Let's go to Exodus 4, okay? Now remember, let's go back to, I want to stay on the point. Okay? Because we're in the season of the memorial, okay? When you talk about maps and direction, you must understand that, how can I put it? In the mind of a Hebrew, they have their own private and personal exodus. In other words, the Most High speaking, they saw the bush. Every Hebrew in their mind, or most Hebrews in their mind, saw their own personal burning bush. And they have received their own personal instruction. Now, you may be able to gather together those who have the same type of experience, or the map is close enough, and maybe you can form a group from that. But it's very difficult in this present day. Let's look at Moses again, Exodus 4, and then we'll go into Joshua, okay? So Exodus 4, and let's read verses 1.
Exodus 4:1. And Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me.
They will what?
They will not believe me.
They will not believe him.
nor hearken unto my voice. For they will say, Yah have not appeared unto thee.
So now what the Most High had to do was to give Moses something to prove himself acceptable. Do you think this is something that is occurring today?
Of course, because they did the same thing to Yeshua. They did not believe that the Father sent him.
Do you know that most of the teachers today have not cast the staff on the ground, have not done any signs whatsoever to prove themselves? Do you know that most teachers today in the public school places have not even proven themselves to their students before you put your child to be taught by them? You know, there was this movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, whatever his name is, and he never flown a plane. He never had the experience. He didn't have a pilot's license. He just went. He became all these different characters because he had enough understanding to do it. And people followed him, and they went on the airlines and everything else. I mean, he went from one spot to the next, and there was no problem. No one questioned him until later on it caught up to him. But I don't know of too many parents that says, okay, teacher, sit here. I'm going to throw some numbers at you. I want to see if this is correct and prove them. You put your trust in the school system, hoping that at the end of the day, your child is going to learn something. And you look at the progression of your child. Okay. There are some children who can outsmart their parents. They're not learning anything, but they can tell their parents something that makes it sound like they're learning. Okay. And then there are some children that may seem like they're not learning anything, but they're the smart ones. Really, really smart children. When the time comes to prove themselves, they can prove themselves. Okay. I think Ema had, you want to say something? Okay, go ahead.
All I would like to say is that in my reading, I noticed that when God tells you something, he don't tell you something unless he tell you what you want to do, what he want you to do. Otherwise he's saying like, this, just like we see the children of Israel, if you do this, this will happen to you. But I rather you do this one. But with Moses now, Moses, as you said, Moses was trying to get away from not going to these people, and he find all kinds of excuses.
Well, we're going to continue looking at that too. We have a few more verses to look at. But you brought a good point, because you don't find it customary for the Most High to explain himself to anyone. And you don't find it customary for the prophets of the Most High to explain themselves to anyone. He just simply say, this is what it is, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay? But for Israel today, and Israel throughout history, it always seemed to be, you have to go through some sort of explaining to them for them to believe anything. Let's move on. Let's skip on down to verses 5. Let's read that. We're going to skip through 5. Yes.
Could the problem be that we have been deceived so many times that it's really hard for you to just take someone at their word?
Yes, that is correct. The book of, I think it's Wisdom of Solomon. I can't remember the exact verse, or is it Sirach? Speaks about giving alms, for example, giving help to a person who's in need. And sometimes that person will do some crazy stuff. And when they do when that person who has received that money turn around and use the money for ill will, for wrong, it kills the spirit of anyone trying to help the poor, because you have seen how it has been abused.
Yeah.
So you kind of withhold, like, I'm not helping anyone because I've been given and this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, through situations like that, we can see how that is a possibility. But at the same time, while that is happening, people still trust in other things. They still go on in other things and trust in other things. They may have a bad experience with this bank, but they want to be successful, so they'll put their money somewhere else. Maybe not the same bank, but somewhere else. They still have to put the action into to play. So let's read 5.
That they may believe that Yah, Elohim of their fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, and the Elohim of Isaac, and the Elohim of Jacob have appeared unto thee. And Yah said furthermore unto him, Put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
All right, we can stop there. Let's, because it goes
Go
into
down
about,
to 10.
let's skip over a few things. Let's read verses 8.
8 to 10. That's good. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe also these 2 signs, neither hearken unto your voice, that thou shalt take of the water of the river, and pour it upon the dry land, and the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land.
Now, what sense does this make at all about setting people free? Can you, if I'm in prison and someone come and do a magic trick, poof, 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 poof. How does that, what kind of message does that send me that you can get me out of trouble? A cheap magician's trick? A cheating? Okay, yes, sis.
If you see them do certain things, you may start believing that maybe they can get you out, because I've not really seen anyone able to do that thing. So they come and do some kind of trick, like a Houdini kind of stuff. You may want to believe them.
What if I make a key appear that can open the gates of the prison? Wouldn't that be a more,
That's true.
Brother Pincus, wouldn't that be a better, more convincing?
Yes.
But what about throwing things on the ground and things turn to blood and hand turning white? I mean, what is that going to do? You want to say something, young man? What is that going to do? How does that build my confidence that you can take me out of here? Let's move on.
It's not going to impress Pharaoh.
I just want you all to think about that, okay?
Yeah.
Now let's read. Let's read. What I want to do now as a review, I would like to show you how Moses was not interested in positions. He was trying to find different ways to get out. He says, okay, I see the sign. Okay, my hand turned this way. I see this turn to a snake. I see all these things. Okay, but
But I don't think Moses was impressed with the signs either, simply because he was learned in all the ways of Egypt, and he knew that Egypt did a lot of magic tricks and stuff, and he didn't think the sign would impress Pharaoh either.
All right, let's take.
So there had to be something.
But Hebrew is going to say that, Sister Sarah, you're just putting that stuff in there.
No, but that's exactly what happened. When he went to Egypt, Pharaoh wasn't impressed.
It's not found in the Torah, so we need to throw it out.
Pharaoh wasn't impressed because Pharaoh called for his magicians and they turned their staff into snakes.
All right, let's read on.
I mean,
let's read on.
Come on.
We have a lot of ground to cover, so I don't want to be too long-winded. Verses 10, let's read.
And Moses said unto Yah, O my Elohim, I am not eloquent, neither theretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue.
Moses himself had, maybe you might call it dyslexia or something, or
no,
what
he probably had a stammering lips.
Lisp.
Stammering lips.
Well, some say lisp, some say he couldn't, a whole lot of different issues. But Moses was trying his very best to weasel or wiggle himself out of the responsibility of dealing with these people. Now remember, how did Moses end up in Midian? Running away from what?
Murder.
From his own people.
From Pharaoh.
His own people.
Yes, because they saw what he did, and when they said, "Are you gonna kill us like you killed the Egyptians?"
Initially he was trying to help his own people out.
Yes.
And later on, the book of Joshua even goes into the detail.
Yeah.
But later on, we found that he had to leave because his own people. Yes.
Yeah, what I would like to say likewise. God tell Moses, he said to Moses, the people that was after all are already died out.
Uh-huh.
So I don't see where it is that you find him excuses that you don't want to go, but he's still trying to make all of these excuses. I know I can't speak.
Hmm.
So even if he comes in with this one, he can find the next way out. I can't because of this.
Now, while we are looking at these things, I want us to hold our own personal mirrors and look at ourselves, because this is the thinking of our own selves. Brother O'Shea, you want to say something?
Yeah, shalom. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
So I know people like to always say Moses had stammering lips or whatever it is, that case. But if we remember, Moses was a general, number one. He was a prince of Egypt, so he didn't have no little soft voice going and talking to people. I think when the scripture talks about that, it's just that he didn't understand, or he wasn't versed in the ways of his people. So he wasn't comfortable enough to actually speak to his people. So the Most High had to send Aaron, his brother, to help him in that case.
Okay. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on that. All right. Okay, family. We're going to move on. Let's read.
Verse 11.
Uh-huh.
And Yahuwah said unto him, Who have made man's mouth? Or who maketh the dumb, or the deaf, or the seen, or the blind? Have not I, Yah? Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, O my Elohim, send, I pray thee, by the hand of him whom thou wilt send.
See, now you need an assistant. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And the anger of Yah was kindled against Moses.
It was what?
He was kindled against Moses.
So Moses, at some point in time, he made the Most High upset.
Yeah.
Because Moses was trying his very, very best to be out of the picture. And then if he couldn't get out of the picture, let me take second, let me be the vice president. I didn't want to take that role. I didn't want to deal with this. So he was not an ambitious person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's all I want to get from that. Read on, finish that verse.
And the anger of Yah was kindled against Moses, and he said, Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that he can speak well. And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee. And when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart.
Now, how did the Most High give Moses the blueprint and says Aaron is coming up?
No.
He's on the plane, jet blue coming up?
No.
Huh?
No.
Okay. So the Most High is operating in such a way that most of our people would not even deal with. I want us to think about that. Let it sink deep within our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Real short, and then we gotta move on.
I'm wondering. It just comes to my mind. I'm wondering if Moses was meditating or thinking of what the other guy said to him. Who gonna make you a ruler? You want to be a ruler over us? So then I wonder if he's thinking about that. Now the same thing happened with Joseph, and he became a ruler over his brethren. So same thing.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. Now, let's go to chapter 5 real quick. We're not going to read the whole thing. I just wanted to make a few points here. Now, Moses went to Pharaoh and says to let my people go and so forth. And Pharaoh replied to Moses and them was that Pharaoh's reply was that the people got a lot of time on their hands. Let them go and find what they need to make up the difference to get the work done for the bricks and stuff. And the people were all scattered. And let me skip on down here. Okay, let's go to verses 15, and let's read from there.
Then the officers of the children of Israel came and cried unto Pharaoh, saying, Wherefore dealest thou thus with thy servants? There is no straw given unto thy servants, and they say to us, Make brick.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, thy servants are beaten, but the fault is in thine own people.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, Ye are idle, Ye are idle, therefore you say, let us go and do sacrifice unto Yahuwah.
Would you trust the person who comes, you're comfortable in your prison condition, and someone comes and make these promises of hope and deliverance and whatnot, and then one of the first results you get from that is a punishment. You get beat. You have all this negativity happen to you. Things is not going so well. Job doesn't, I mean, you lose your job, or maybe it's hard if you get a job, or all these things happen. Then you start to say to yourself, well, wait a minute, why am I following this? Why should I even listen to this person? Now, what if something positive had happened? Pharaoh says, you know what? I'm not only going to give you all 3 days off, I'm going to give you all a month off. And as a matter of fact, you're going to get paid.
That's the Hebrews gonna love that. They would love that. Yep. They would be partying all night for
All
the
right,
whole month.
let's move on. Let's move on. Let's read it. Let's continue on.
Mm-hmm. Go therefore now and work, for there shall no straw be given you, yet shall you deliver the tally of bricks. And the officers of the children of Israel did see that they were in evil case, and it was said, you shall not manish aught but your bricks of your daily task, from your bricks of your daily task. And they met Moses and Aaron, who stood in the way as they came forth from Pharaoh.
So now Moses and Pharaoh are sized up, put to the test. Go ahead and read.
And they said unto them, Yahuwah looked upon you and judge, because you have made our savor to be abhorred in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of his servants, to put a sword in their hands to slay us. And Moses returned unto Yah and said, Adonai, wherefore hast thou so evil entreated this people? Why is it that thou hast sent me? For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in thy name, he have done evil to these people. Neither have thou delivered thy people at all.
Remember the tortoise and remember the hare. The Most High does not operate as we think within our own carnal minds. He operates on a totally different level, Mishpachah. And some of y'all may not like the way that he operates, and will have even a better plan, more easier tickling of the ears type operation. All right, let's go to Joshua now. Let's go to Joshua. So now, when Moses showed up, things were not going so well with the Hebrews. They had all these things going wrong. We're going to go to 75. And now Moses is getting the blame, and Moses is saying, listen, why me? I didn't want to go and deal with these people. But here I am dealing with these people. I'm an 80-year-old man. I'm supposed to be in retirement. A gray beard. Okay, so we're going to read, what verse is that?
Joshua 75, do you want something one?
Yeah, one should be fine.
Okay.
Everybody can see it on the screen. Just let me know if y'all can see it. If not, just listen. All right, Joshua 75. Go ahead and read.
At that time, in the 180th year of the Israelites going down into Egypt, there went forth from Egypt valiant men, 30,000 on foot, from the children of Israel, who were of the tribe of Joseph, of the children of Ephraim, the son of Joseph.
Now, just for the record, family, we're reading. It's not showing? Okay, so let me try that again. Okay, 1 second. Let's try it again one more time. If y'all having problems with the screen, just let me know so I can correct it. I don't want to be going on ahead of you and y'all are way in the back. Okay. So now, before you continue, Sister Sarah, let me set things up just a little bit. So now Moses is getting Israel out of captivity, and there is a group of Hebrews. Now, this is not written in the Torah itself. This is in the book of Jasher. But again, some Hebrews would say, well, it's not in the Torah, so throw it out. Okay. If you want to throw it out, you can throw it out. Not a problem. Not a problem. But I can show you other examples, which we will see in the Torah, that is no different from what we read in here. Okay? So let's read.
Verse 2.
Uh-huh.
For they said the period was completed, which Yah had appointed to the children of Israel in the times of old, which he had spoken to Abraham.
So they said that we looked at the clock, we checked the blueprint, it's time for us to get out of captivity, so we're going to do this thing on our own. Let's read.
And these men girded themselves, and they put each man his sword at his side, and every man his armor upon him, and they trusted to their strength.
They trusted in what?
To their strength.
To their strength, okay.
And they went out together from Egypt with a mighty hand.
Remember we read the verse that says not about strength and speed and is in
not for the strong.
Okay, read on.
Verse 4. But they brought no provision for the road.
They did what?
They brought no provision for the road.
Let me high-light that. They brought
no provision for the road.
Let's make it just a little bit bigger. They brought no provision for the road. What does that sound like to you?
The foolish virgins.
The foolish virgins. Can you yeah, please, thank you. Read on.
Only silver and gold, not even bread for that day did they bring in their hands. For they thought of getting their provision for pay from the Philistines, and if not, they would take it by force.
You see how they were thinking? By their strength, they were hoping to achieve success. They had their own blueprint. Now, whom did the Most High call to bring the children of Israel out of captivity? Did he call the tribe of Ephraim?
No.
Did he say, you Ephraimites is going to go do this thing?
No.
Now, if they had a good plan, why didn't they follow through with this plan before? If they could have delivered themselves, why didn't they do it a long time ago? Who was the one who brought them into captivity?
The Most High.
It was the Most High. And who's the one that's going to take them out?
The Most High.
It's the Most High. A lot of times, family, we don't like the one or the ones that the Most High have set or sent to do you good. And all you can see is, I don't like that person. I don't like what they're saying. I don't like whatever it is too much. Or you would pick and choose what you like with Yeshua. They love the fish, they love the bread. We'll take that. But when you start going into some other doctrines and stuff, we don't like that. And in most cases, the reason is because they simply don't understand anything. But of course, if anyone comes around talking about biting your flesh and drinking blood, you're going to walk away from that person.
For sure.
Right? It's natural. But remember, Yeshua did a lot of miracles. He wasn't no ordinary guy either. And how long was Yeshua teaching for?
3.5.
3.5 years. Huh. But remember, Yeshua had taught as one with authority.
Yes.
He didn't come up from the school of the Pharisees or any of these other schools. The Most High sent him for a particular reason, but the people didn't understand the time of their visitation.
Yep.
And that is the problem with Israel. We still have this problem today. So they took no provision for the road, only silver and gold, not even bread for that day did they bring in their hands, for they thought of getting their provisions for pay from the Philistines, and if not, they would take it by force. Let's read on.
And these men were very mighty and valiant men. One man could pursue 1,000, and two could rout 10,000. So they trusted to their strength and went together as they were.
They trusted in their strength.
Mhm.
Let's continue on.
And they directed their course toward the land of Gath. And they went down and found the shepherds of Gath feeding the cattle of the children of Gath.
Mhm.
And they said to the shepherds, "Give us some of the sheep for pay, that we may eat, for we are hungry. For we have eaten no bread this day."
Now, remember when the Most High brought Israel out of captivity, that there were some obstructions along the way. Esau and them didn't
Mhm.
want.
Right. They wouldn't pass through their land.
And did they take Esau's stuff by force?
No.
What did the Most High do?
The Most High reroute them.
Move them to a different place, right?
Yes.
Then the Most High gave them manna to eat.
Yes.
Okay,
And gave them water to drink.
and water to drink.
Mhm.
Now, was that explained to them before leaving
No.
Egypt?
No.
Did he explain to them that they're going to have one type of food, cereal, that's going to fall on the ground? They're going to have cereal that's going to taste like steak, cereal that you can shape into different things. Huh? Astronaut food. What if Israelites had received this information beforehand? You're going to have one type of food.
They wouldn't go.
The clothes that you have is not going to wear out, especially when Israelites like to have a different fashion wear, you
Mhm.
know.
Yes.
You think they would have left?
No.
If they wouldn't, they probably wouldn't go, or those who would go wouldn't prepare.
But there may have been a teacher, leader, or some sort that would have made a better promise. It usually happens. They always happen to have remember when Jeremiah was up teaching
Mhm.
and warning the people,
Yes.
and then two guys stood up and says, "We're gonna by this way we're gonna break the yoke
Yes, exactly.
of Nebuchadnezzar off our
Yeah.
heads."
They made their own prophecy.
And I think it's in the next year.
He died. He
The
said
same people.
Yeah, the same guy who prophesied.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's read.
Mhm.
Let's read.
Verse 8.
Uh-huh.
And the shepherd said, "Are they our sheep or cattle that we should give them to you even for pay?"
Mm-hmm.
So the children of Ephraim approached to take them by force. Verse 9. And the shepherds of Gath shouted over them, that their cry was heard at a distance. So all the children of Gath went out to them.
Mm-hmm.
And when the children of Gath saw the evil doings of the children of Ephraim, they returned and assembled the men of Gath, and they put on each man his armor and came forth to the children of Ephraim for battle. And they engaged with them in the valley of Gath, and the battle was severe. And they smote from each other a great many on that day.
Now, let me ask a question. Did the Most High break off a separate cloud of by day for them?
No.
And a separate little, fire?
Fire by night? No, he didn't do that.
For them?
No.
Have we seen the Most High dealing with them so far?
No.
They're on their own.
Yes.
Okay. They're on their
They
own.
trust in their own strength, remember?
And did they went to Moses and says, "Moses, we want to do our own thing"?
No.
Do you find that anywhere in there?
Yeah.
Give us your blessing or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What do you think Moses would have done if they came to him and says, "Moses, we want to go our own way"?
Yeah.
Moses would have done what, elder?
Yeah, he inquired.
Inquire from the Most High and ask, Most High, should we let these people go on their own?
Mhm.
What do you think the Most High would have said?
Let them go.
Let's read on. You want to go? Go ahead.
Go ahead. Basically, Isn't that what he did to
We'll cover that. Just continue on.
Verse 12. And on the second day, the children of Gath sent to all the cities of the Philistines that they should come to their help, saying, Come up unto us and help us, that we may smite the children of Ephraim, who have come forth from Egypt to take our cattle and to fight against us without cause. Now the souls of the children of Ephraim were exhausted with hunger and thirst, for they had eaten no bread for 3 days.
No provisions. The what do you call it? The fast foolish. The fast foolish.
Yes.
Not the fast and the furious. The fast and the foolish.
Yes.
Read.
They had no bread because
quick.
They had no provision.
They went ahead.
So they went to buy. Remember, they went to buy. Yeah. And 40,000 men went forth from the city of the Philistines to the assistance of the men of Gath. And these men were engaged in battle with the children of Ephraim. And Yah delivered the children of Ephraim into the hands of the Philistines. And they smote all the children of Ephraim, all who had gone forth from Egypt. None were remaining, but 10 men who had run away from the engagement.
Only 10. Well, there might be something connecting to what we read in Matthew 25, but we'll leave it at that. Okay, let's read on.
For this evil was from Yah against the children of Ephraim, for they transgressed the word of Yah in going forth from Egypt before the period had arrived.
Read it again one more time. Slow down.
Very, 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 very important. If anybody learned anything, they better learn this.
Read it again.
For this evil was from Yah against the children of Ephraim.
It was from who?
The children of Ephraim.
It was from the Most High against the children of Ephraim.
For they transgressed the word of Yah in going forth from Egypt before the period had arrived, which Yah in the days of old had appointed to Israel.
The Most High chose one man who didn't want to deal with all the mess and everything else. He just want to stay in retirement, take care of his sheep, raise a family. That's it. They don't want to be bothered with anything. He didn't have no ambition to take over anything. But in our day and age, ambition is something that is like weeds all over the place. Everybody wants to be in charge. Everybody wants this and everybody. And they haven't even finished their learning yet. And they think because you're silent about something that they have the permission to go. But they fail to understand that you have already spoken to them ahead of time. A lot of things, family, cannot be taught in one semester of school. Let me repeat that for those who didn't hear it. A lot of things are not instructed to students in one semester of schooling. I don't understand why we understand this thing when it comes to making money and education out in the world. But when it comes to the most high structure, we don't follow protocol. We don't. We are so impatient. We want to know everything now. Show me everything. Explain everything. Tell me this and that. You know, half the time, even more than half the time, a lot of things that we have in other classes, most people don't even see it. They haven't even looked at it. They haven't checked it out. They haven't researched. They haven't studied anything. They just jump ahead into certain things. They haven't taken the time. And you think that this person was in that class, and they will say, no, I wasn't there. So, where were you? So I have to go back, or it has to be brought back again. Instead of moving forward, you're just always going backwards. 40 years going around and around in a circle.
But the thing is that they don't do the assignment. Like sometimes they don't do the assignment. They don't go and take what is being given to you and go study it further and make sure you understand it. And if you have questions, you ask the teacher, hey, I don't understand this. Or I found something. What about that? What about this? You know?
I don't know. I don't even know how to think about this. This is a rehearsal indeed. Okay, let's read. Let's read verses 18.
And of the Philistines also there fell a great many, about 20,000 men, and their brethren carried them and buried them in their cities.
So Ephraim had some success, but out of that, they only had 10 people that made it back from that, right? Is that a real success? Okay.
No.
But during the time when you see you have killed so many Philistines, you think that you're very successful. In your mind, that's what you're thinking. Okay. Go ahead.
And the slain of the children of Ephraim remained forsaken in the valley of Gath for many days and years, and were not brought to burial, and the valley was filled with men's bones. And the men who had escaped from the battle came to Egypt and told all the children of Israel all that had befallen them.
So they came all the way back to Egypt, right back to the drawing board. Okay, read on.
And their father Ephraim mourned over them for many days, and his brethren came to console him. And he came unto his wife, and she bare a son, and she called his name Beriah, for she was unfortunate in his house.
Okay, let's move on. Let's go to Numbers chapter 11, and let's read what the Torah have to say about our history.
There was a verse in Psalms 78, verses 9, talk about Ephraim turning back and so forth.
Let me take a look. Book of Psalms 78.
79, she said, right?
79 or 78?
Oh, 78.
Verses.
That's true.
Yep.
So let's go there real quick.
9 and 10.
Let's pull up that.
9 and 10.
Thank you, Ima.
Yes.
So the book of Psalms 78.
9 and 10.
And
So
there are other places in the Bible that gives you only just a hint, and Joshua goes into some of the details.
Yeah. So you can't throw it out because it's actually written in the scriptures.
Psalm 78. And let's read verses 9. Well, let's start at verses 7. 6. Start at 6.
The generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in Yah and not forget the works of Yahuwah, but keep his commandments.
Not forget. That's rehearsal. Read.
And might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation.
Stubborn is, you ever try to clean something and it just wouldn't, a stain, it's just in there, you can't get it out? That's Psalm 78, we're in verses 8. You're trying to get this thing out and it's not moving. It's just stuck there. It's very irritating, right? Continue.
A generation that set not their heart aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with Yah. The children of Ephraim,
top of the list,
being armed and carrying bows, turned back in the day of battle. They kept not the covenant of Yah and refused to walk in his law. and forgot his works and his wonders that he had showed them.
Read.
Marvelous things did he in the sight of their fathers in the land of Egypt in the field of Zoan.
Okay, we can stop there. Yes.
Where would we find that record of the children of Ephraim turning back during battle in the 66?
You're not going to find it.
And
in the 66?
In the 66 that we have.
Yes.
Is there a record of the children of Israel being armed and carrying bows turned back in the day of battle?
Well, sister, I see the point you're trying to make, and that's a good thing you're trying to share with our people. But really and truthfully, if we have to turn every stone and prove every single thing for Israelites to really believe and be faithful, there's very little loyalty in Israel.
Right. But I was just showing that is one of the sure word that the book of Jasher is
correct.
A correct book of record.
That's right.
It cannot be found, and thankful to Ima for bringing it.
Yes.
And for you reading it, it shows you that they knew about these testimonies.
That's correct, but it's only correct when you can make everything lined up for the Hebrew who has issues with certain things. You understand what I'm trying to say? My point is that there's no problem with the book.
Right.
It's the teachers is the problem. They simply don't understand what they're reading half of the time, or more than half of the time. But when they go out and start making all kinds of statements, first thing that they do is in order for you to build yourself up, you must diminish something else. You must find fault. When you start finding fault, then you start working on your building up your character or whatever it is. And you must find others to agree with you. And most of the times you find others who don't know themselves, their head from their foot. And they will agree with you. Yes, Kifa.
Greetings to everyone out there. The point I'm going to make here is that this scripture, along with, as the sister was saying, with the book of Jasher, has concretely put everything in place for us to see. As our people are stiff-necked and hard-headed, and they try to convince you that the full moon is a new moon. And the U.S. tried to tell you that they have been to the moon, but they still can't get there up to now. They haven't went back again, but now they plan on going to Mars. It's just not a set of nonsense that's why they're saying that there's going to be a selected few. And there's only those that are really faithful to the understanding is going to make it.
Faithful. There was one person that was at the foot waiting for Moses every time Moses went up. The Bible says he was faithful in all his house. He was faithful. You cannot find where Joshua was going back and forth, giving Moses a hard time, or trying to put other ideas in other Hebrews.
No.
Joshua was faithful.
Yes.
He was faithful. Okay.
Yeah.
Even what's her name? The prostitute who Rahab. She would be make a better Hebrew than most Hebrews.
Mm-hmm.
You understand this?
Yeah.
And that's a shame. It's really a shame. It's really a sad thing. Yes, you want to say something?
No, I was going to say that in verse 12, when he said marvelous things that he did in the sight of their fathers in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zoan. Now there is in the Torah, there's no really explanation what happened in the field of Zoan. But if you go and you read Jasher, it tells you what happened in the field of Zoan.
That is true, okay? Sister Sarah. We've been through that before, but we don't want to. What I'm trying to do is I want to make a few people upset. I want to make a few people upset. Okay. Let me explain what I mean by that. Not for ill, but for good.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to explain, as Hebrews, we have to learn to learn. We have to learn to be patient and not be so quick to be fast and running about and doing anything. Joshua did not try to outrun Moses. Joshua waited. He did what he had to do. And he worked with Moses because the goal was to get to the land of promise. How clear is that? The goal is to get there. Joshua didn't ask Moses, well, let me take a look at this blueprint again. Let me take a look at this and let me question it. You cannot find that. There's a group of people we're going to go into if I can get there. Can I get there? So we can be able to take a look at that and see what the problem is in Israel. If we can't learn from this thing in the past, it doesn't make any sense to even meet for Passover. Because all we're doing is just having ceremonies. Every year it's the same ceremony, it just becomes redundant, just a ceremony, a fashion show. And then when it comes to in practice to really have the respect and loyalty and the proper behavior, every man is a king in his own castle. Elder, real short.
Yeah, that is why even to the same example today, we don't want to wait on the one that teaching us. We just want to go ahead and do our thing. That's the whole thing now. That's the thing that is going all the time.
Can I ask you a question, Elder? How old? Well, just give me an estimate. I'll just give you three choices. David. When David was anointed, was he an old man? Was he a middle-aged man, or was he a young man?
He was a young man.
He was a young man,
Yes.
okay. And David knew he was anointed to become king, is that correct?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Did David go out while he was there with Saul and try to subvert Saul at any time?
No.
Did he try to put any things into Jonathan's ears to get it stimulated to
take over?
No.
Did David gather an army to overthrow Saul?
No.
Did David went to the Philistines against Saul?
No.
So David did not. What about the time when David had Saul in his sight and
he still didn't do anything to Saul? He waits on the Lord because obedient.
Now, what about when Saul was dead? Did David ever disrespect Saul even when he was dead?
No.
Do y'all remember what happened when there was a man who came running to David's throne and says, "Hey, Saul is dead." You remember what happened to that man?
David had him killed.
David did what?
Had him killed.
Why?
Because he laid his hands upon the Lord's anointed.
This will have to be repeated again to our people because I don't think they understand this. I have said it over and I'll say it again. You do not mess with the Most High's anointed. You have to wait for the proper succession of things. Everybody have their own work and place to do. If you try to jump over, something is going to take you. You're going to hear the voice of the Most High, all right? He will tell you, yes, go ahead. But that's not what he said in the beginning. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to find out all kinds of things is going to happen. David had such great loyalty and respect for the order of the Most High that even when Saul had died, people died for disrespecting Saul. Because David says, no, this is not the way it's supposed to be. I am patient. I do what I have to do. Saul wanted to chase me down, fine, no problem. But I'm going to continue to do what I have to do. Even there were times that David was by himself alone saying, I'm alone. Don't have any help. I'm just by myself. But you know, we don't read that stuff because after all, Hebrews who have the blueprint, they don't need to read this stuff. They already got a blueprint. Let's go to Numbers 11. Let's read. You don't need to listen to this stuff. This is not for them.
Yeah, Numbers 11.
Numbers 11.
1. Start from 1.
I told you all before that when you start pulling at one piece of the fabric of the Torah, you unravel the whole thing.
Yeah.
James said that if you break one point, you mess up the whole thing. Yeah. I don't understand how a person can be a teacher and found have all this flaws and faults and all this errors and all this stuff, and then you still want to use some of the teacher's stuff. Does that make any sense to you? Huh? See again? Okay. It doesn't make any sense. But let's read. Numbers 11 and 1.
And when the people complained, it displeased Yah. And Yah heard it, and his anger was kindled. And the fire of Yah burnt among them and consumed them, that they were in the uttermost parts of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses.
Wait a minute. You don't like Moses. You can't find it where the people give Moses hugs and kisses for bringing them out. An old man. You should be turning to the young ones, to the young bloods. Some of y'all Hebrews, when you start to have some gray in your beard, I think you should shave and become like a woman. Because kicking against the gray beards, at some point in time, your beard is going to be gray. What are you going to do when it comes gray? They will expect respect? Okay. So the same one that they hated, they complained against, they came crying to the same one. Go ahead and read.
And when Moses prayed unto Yah, the fire was quenched.
The same person that they didn't like so much was the same one that had to pray to keep them alive. Go ahead and read.
And he called the name of the place Teberath, because the fire of Yah burned among them. And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat? We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons, and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all beside this manna before our eyes.
See, the eyes was the problem. The manna was not pleasing to the eyes, but they remembered what cucumbers look like, what melons taste like, and the leeks and the flavoring of all the foods. But this manna, read on, verse 7.
And the manna was as coriander seed, and the color thereof as the color of bdellium.
Read.
And the people went about and gathered it and ground it in mills, or beat it in a mortar, and baked it in pans and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was as the taste of fresh oil. And when the dew fell upon the camp in the night, the manna fell upon it. Then Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent.
See, what happens is that eventually murmuring spreads like a plague. It goes from one house to the other. All of a sudden, Moses is not a good guy anymore. The food that he's providing, we don't like it so much. AKA the message, the doctrine, the teaching, whatever that he's giving them. Of course, Moses didn't share a blueprint with these Hebrews that they should trust him. But we have been raised in a society that wants us to trust the society, but when it comes to the Most High's business, there's no loyalty, there's no trust. There's none of that stuff. There's criticism, there's murmuring, there's subversion, there's plotting, there's planning, there's a quiet riot that is taking place, a quiet storm. Let's read on.
And the anger of Yah was kindled greatly. Moses also was displeased. And Moses said unto Yah, wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant? And wherefore have I not found favor in thy sight?
Moses is being all the punishment. He's feeling the pain. He's like, I'm being punished with these people. I haven't done anything wrong. I want out of this thing. Read.
That thou layest the burden of all these people upon me. Have I conceived all these people? Have I begotten them? That thou shouldest say unto me, carry them in thy bosom, as a nursing father beareth the sucking child, unto the land which thou swearest unto their fathers?
You know, it's so difficult when you have on one side an opportunity when you are skilled. Moses was an ex-general, ex-prince of Egypt. I mean, he had all the talents possible that he can be a very successful sheik in Midian. Right? He could have had a whole thing of whatever it is, but he left all of that just to take care of the Most High's business. And what he got for that as a reward? Disrespect. Disrespect. Now today, you know how many times I've pleaded with the Most High and says, Father, please, you know, I just want to be. I just want to be left alone. I just want to go my own way. And he just keeps pulling me back in and holding me in that position.
Just remind you of those little sheep that still needs the grass. The faithful sheep that needs the grass.
That's somebody else can deal with that stuff. Somebody else can take care of sheep. Let's move on. We got to pick up some speed, Elder.
Verse 13. Verse 13. Whence should I have flesh to give unto all these people?
Now, some of y'all may be saying that brother too enough. Sister Sophia, you want to translate what I just said? Him too enough. Can you translate it for Hebrews who don't know the lingo? Say again. He's what?
Meaning that you're acting arrogant, like you're better than everyone else.
That is how some of our people will behave themselves. They will say that, yeah, he's just acting arrogant. He thinks he's this. He's thinking. I'm not thinking anything. I'm not thinking anything. I'm showing you the burden that falls upon leadership. The burden that happens when you have to do the work of the Most High. There are some people who are doing things just because they want to make a name for themselves. They want to be famous. They want to have this and that. I'm not interested in any of that stuff. Okay? I like to eat my bread without sorrow. You turn around, you have a call, you have an email, you have a text, you have this, you have that, help, this, that, and the other. And you're just constantly occupied. And then you have to be, you know, and I promise a particular brother I'll do a class on this, a part 2. It's called Aaron, the people's pastor, but it's going to be called Build a Pastor. Build a Pastor, because it's like, just like you have that place called Build a Bear. You go in there and you pick what you want, you make your own bear, and you feel happy, you can hug it, you can kiss it. My bear, I love this bear. The same thing applies with pastorship, leadership. You want to pick, okay, I don't want my pastor to have a covering in his head. Just take that off. He has to do this, he has to do that. As a matter of fact, I want my pastor to have, I want him to be the true Hebrew Israelite. That he can have one of these, to cry aloud and spare not. It's like you want to be able to have what you want to suit your own personal pastor. And the Most High says, no. Take off all those garments, strip you down. You're going to have a rough garment. You're not going to look the best. You're not going to do this. The Bible says that he was not comely that people would say, well, this is the guy we should follow. He was not someone that was a hunk. David was one of the guys that, you know, they didn't even care for. Like that guy is going to be leader of that old dude over there, that guy.
That little boy.
If you don't understand what you're reading, you're always going to be thinking above your pay grade. Saul. Big dude. Yeah, big Saul.
Mhm.
Anyway, let's continue on.
Wherefore, whence should I have flesh to give? I'm sorry, verse 13. Whence should I have flesh to give unto all these people? For they weep unto me, saying, Give us flesh that we may eat. I am not able to bear all these people alone, because it is too heavy for me.
Mhm.
And if thou deal thus with me, kill me, I pray thee, out of
what?
thine hand.
Uh-huh.
He said, To kill, I pray thee, out of thy hand. Kill me. If I have found favor in thy sight, and let me not see my wretchedness.
Moses is looking at himself just falling apart. And he's like, I can't go out like this, Most High. These people are going to wear me down like water to a stone. Let's read 16.
And Yahuwah said unto Moses, Gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel.
Everybody of Israel.
70 men of the elders of Israel.
Everybody is not chosen to be elders.
Correct.
Let's make that statement, okay? But read on.
Whom thou knowest to be the elders of the people,
Mhm.
and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee.
So Moses is the one who is doing the choosing. Is that correct?
Correct.
Did it say that right here?
No,
Did it say that here? Gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom you know. Well, sometimes, like in the time of Ezra and Nehemiah, there will be people who will try to put themselves in the place of the priests, but they're not counted. You can't find a record. You can't find anything to prove that these people should have this position, and they have to be removed. But again, Hebrews like to pick and choose. So when they make their choices, they have to live with it. 17.
And I will come down and talk with thee there, and I will take of the spirit which is upon you, and will put it upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with you, that thou bear it not thyself alone.
Let's go to chapter 14.
But that's, you can't go over that, because that's interesting.
No, we're going to make a connection here.
You know, with that.
Because one of the things that I want us to see in this family is that, and we have just a couple more and we'll be done, okay? The Most High put the Spirit upon these men. But did the Most High cause these men to become high-minded, big-headed?
No.
That they should run off and do their own thing?
No, they were to work alongside with him.
They were supposed to work with Moses.
Yes.
It wasn't like a starting some new thing to go and start off some new branch or whatever it is. It was supposed to be a continuation of the same house.
Yes. Because he took the spirit that was upon Moses.
Upon who?
Upon Moses, and put upon the people. So again, when you're looking at the word as a teacher, the word that you're speaking, Bible said they are spirit and they are life. So if Moses is your teacher, he's going to take what you were taught from Moses and he's going to put it upon you, upon the people, and they're going to work alongside with him to bring order to Israel.
Sister Sarah, you're making things up. That's what some will say. You're just putting your own words.
No, this is
what
it says.
In a negative side, if a person have a flu and you sneeze upon other people, you're not going to catch measles or something else.
No, you get the flu.
You're going to get this whatever that person had, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to say thank you? All right, let's go to chapter 14. Chapter 14. Okay, chapter 14. Well, it's for our learning, Elder. We have to learn, and I don't know if we don't, while we have life in our bodies, we should be able to try to apply these things to us. And it's not withholding someone. You're not holding back anyone. You want them to grow accordingly and let the Most High do things in decency and in order.
Yes.
And for some reason, everybody thinks that, hey, I got to do it too. It's my turn. Well, what are you talking about? Well, all right, you'll find out. Let's read verses 1.
Chapter
14 and 1.
14 and 1. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. And the whole congregation said unto them, Would ya that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would ya we had died in the wilderness? And whenceforth have ye brought us into this land to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt? And they said one to another, Let us make a captain, and let us return into Egypt.
So here we have people running a race. The whole plan was to reach to Israel, but they're looking in the rearview mirror. They're driving, looking backwards.
Yeah.
That's rebellion. The Most High have set things before you, and you have a plan that you want to go backwards to a different place. When Moses got you across the one area, in your mind you should have said, you know what? Thank you, Father. All we have known in our life was this bondage. I'm no longer in Christianity. Thank you so much for my eyes have been open. You know, let me continue to learn so I can grow and be strong. And when the time is right, the Most High will set me up in the right order and fashion, and you know, he will do what is necessary. I can be part of the solution. But sometimes, again, those who couldn't find their way to the door, finally the door's open. Now they have ideas in their mind. Now they want to go do their own thing. Now they want to, and then all of a sudden they just go out and just do, and to validate themselves, they start pointing fingers at someone else. Start finding fault and blame. So now they have a captain. They're going to choose a captain among themselves, the rebels, and we're going to return back to Egypt. Go ahead.
Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel.
This is an act of humility. He says, you know, I'm just going to humble myself. Y'all want to do this thing? Go ahead, but let's bring the Most High into it, because I was trying to get out of this thing. I don't want to deal with you all. So I'll let the Most High settle this issue. This is always the best way to deal with stuff. Sometimes you can reason, you can talk to a Hebrew and they'll get the sense, but other times you can't reason with them. You can try to talk to them. So what do? You just sit there and says, Most High, you deal with them. And you just keep focusing as that tortoise, keep going. Okay, read on.
And Joshua the son of Nun, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes.
You see, the same thing that Moses did, Joshua did.
And Caleb.
They humbled themselves, Joshua and Caleb. They humbled themselves. These were faithful men, loyal men, obedient men. They didn't question a whole bunch of stuff. They didn't go about doing other stuff. They were just there working. I want y'all to just go back in time and ask yourself, would you be like Joshua and Caleb, or would you be like the others who are always murmuring and complaining, who always have some fingers to point, and do so quietly? Hey, you know, better, quietly call him, texting back and forth. And you think that I don't know about these things. You think I just don't know it because you don't see me react right away. You think I don't know about certain things that is going on. I'm not a person that turns quickly to every wind that blows. You have to be solid. You have to be strong. You have to have depth and root and everything else. Okay? You have to have these things, and some of our people don't have it at all. Everything that happens, they're quick to bend and burn and everything else. Let's continue on.
Verse 7. And they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, The land which we passed through to search it is an exceeding good land. If ye delight in us, then he will bring us into this land, and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not against Yah, Neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defense is departed from them, and Yah is with us. Fear them not.
So here you have Moses making this plea to the people, and you think that's going to work? You know, I don't mind receiving some criticism on YouTube and stuff for some of the things that I taught, because they're not in the classes like we have. Most of the classes that are on YouTube and that we do are not posted on YouTube. Most of the teachings are mostly quiet or private. It's not on YouTube, so they don't know and they don't understand either unless they go through most of the teachings. Then they'll have a better understanding, and then they won't be so crazy or too quick to rush to judgment. But the sad thing is when you have people that have been with you for years, and when it boils down, it's like if you're speaking to a stranger. There's no communication at all. Yes, sis, real quick.
We have to remember that Judas was walking with Messiah for 3.5 years, and he said that it wasn't a stranger that did that to him. It was a friend, someone he considered a friend. So, I mean, and he knew his heart and everything. I still allowed him to walk with him. So, in my understanding is that not everyone that says will make it, or in the sense of it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Betrayal.
It's going to happen. Betrayal will happen, and from those who you least expect it.
Well, all right. Let's continue on. Verses 10.
But all the congregation bade stone them with stones. And the glory of Yah appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel.
So now the children of Israel was ready to stone Moses.
Yes.
They were ready to stone Moses. The man who opened the door for them to travel, who did everything with his old years, the rest of his life, the strength that he had, he put everything in for Israel. Even his own life, he says, just kill me. And half the time, the children of Israel didn't even know what was going on in Moses' mind. They didn't know the things that he was going through. The depression, the pain, the hardship, the heartaches. They don't have a clue what he's going through. All they see is that Moses is just a tool for, we use him like a token to get what we want. Okay? Yes.
And the thing is that also they don't even know that Moses is fasting and praying on their behalf.
Yeah.
Just like Job was making sacrifices for his children just in case they did something wrong. They don't know, that he's always pleading for mercy and for healing and the restoration for them. They don't even know that.
Yes, Elder.
Teacher, all the examples that from Genesis down there, that is written, the Bible says all these things written for our learning. That when we learn this thing and still we don't learn it, it go through one ear and pass through the other.
Let's continue on.
Verse 11.
And
Yah said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be ere they believe me? For all the signs which I have showed among them, I will smite them with the pestilence and disinherit them, and will make of thee a great nation and a mightier than they, a greater nation and mightier than they.
Let's see the character of Moses. Read.
And Moses said unto Yah, then the Egyptians shall hear it, for thou broughtest up this people in thy might from among them. And they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land, for they have heard that thou, Yah, art among this people, that thou, Yah, art seen face to face, and that thy cloud standeth over them, and that thou goest before them by day time in a pillar of a cloud.
See all of these things.
And in a pillar of fire by night.
All of these things they can see.
Now, if thou kill, shall it, and if thou shalt kill all these people as one man, then the nations which have heard the fame of thee will speak, saying, because Yah was not able to bring these people into the land which he sware unto them, therefore he have slain them in the wilderness.
So Moses is trying to put, now the most already know this, but Moses is actually confessing the goal. Most High, you had a goal. Remember your goal. Remember what you promised. Just stay with that plan. Don't kill these people as if one person commit this crime, okay? Don't kill all these people. Read.
And now I beseech thee, let the power of my Adonai or Yah be great, according as thou hast spoken, saying, Yah is long-suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty.
Read it again. By what?
And by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation.
So just because something didn't happen directly to you, doesn't mean it's not coming. Let's continue on.
Pardon, I beseech thee, the iniquity of this people, according unto the greatness of thy mercy, and as thou hast forgiven this people from Egypt even until now. And Yah said, I have pardoned according to thy word.
All right, let's stop there. Moses had to stand in the gap for the sake of the people. Let's get chapter 16. This is going to be the last. Here's another example. We saw in chapter 11, Moses pleaded for the people. We actually saw before they left Egypt, Moses pleaded on behalf for the people.
Yes.
Moses himself didn't know he was going to go to the Red Sea, the Sea of Reeds, and part water. He didn't have all those blueprints. He had to follow by faith. Father, what am I supposed to do here? Go ahead, do this thing. What's next? Go ahead and do this thing. But Hebrews don't like that. They don't like that. They need the blueprint. They need to have a direct and clear path, and then they will be checking you, double checking you to see if you're on the same path. They'll be checking. Let's get chapter 16, okay? So let's see what happens in chapter 16. Now remember, there were elders. Remember, there were a lot of learned people. There were people who were responsible for many, right? Let's see what happened. Verses 16.
Verse 1?
Chapter 16, verses 1. Sorry.
Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men.
So you have Kohath, Dathan, Abiram. You have On, and you have the sons of Reuben. Okay, so you got a group of men. Let's continue on.
And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown.
Men with great reputation. Okay, so Kohath formed a crew. Let's go. Continue. Verses 3.
And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, you take too much upon you.
Now stop. Didn't the Most High already settle that problem by putting the Spirit from Moses onto 70 men to help run the business?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So what are these guys talking about? So they ignored everything that the Most High himself did, and here they are starting again to complain. You take too much.
Attacking Moses.
You want to run the whole thing on your own, Moses. And Aaron, go ahead and read.
You take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of Yah?
See that? Did Moses lift himself up at any time?
No.
Did Moses put himself in that position?
No.
Moses was trying to get out of it for the longest time. So now these men are saying, you take the responsibility, you're too arrogant, you this and you that. They're trying to demeanor Moses by saying these things when it's not true. Imagine you have a teacher that is all the teacher wants is your good. And you turn around and you slander, you start to belittle, you start to say certain things to the about the teacher to break the teacher down. And then you want to go to the teacher's boss and to complain to the teacher's boss against the teacher. What do you expect to find? Yes.
But they were not complaining just against Moses. They were complaining against the Most High because he's the one that's doing the work.
Well, the Most High is going to deal with them. Let's see what the book says. You lift yourself above the congregation of Yahuwah. They name the name of the Most High, verses 4.
And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face.
Again, humble himself, right? Read.
And he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow, Yah will show who are his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him whom he have chosen will he cause to come near unto him.
Now notice Moses didn't settle this thing the same day. You see what he did? He didn't settle it the same day. Most people will want an answer on the spot. They want it answered right away. And Moses says, let some time pass. Let's continue on. This do?
Verse 6, this do, take you censers, Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before Yah tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom Yah doeth choose, he shall be holy. You take too much upon you, you sons of Levi. And Moses said unto Korah, hear I pray you, ye sons of Levi.
You want to say something, sis?
Yes, with what they were saying about everyone being holy, they were basically repeating the same thing. Who make you a judge and a ruler over us? Basically, we're the same thing. Why do you think you're so special? And that's what they're basically saying to Moses.
Yes.
Absolutely. We're all set apart. We're all on the same page.
Same thing going on today.
Exactly. All were virgins.
That's why they want to know who taught you. Who is like they're trying to.
Yeah. Where did you get this from?
Where did you
know, who gave you authority to do so and so?
Same thing.
Where's your credentials? Where's this and where's that? Let's continue.
Verse 9. Seemeth it but a small thing unto you that Yah of Israel have separated you from the congregation of Israel?
You think that your position is just a little position? He gave you an assignment. He gave you a post, a position, right? Read.
To bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Most High.
That's your job.
Okay. And to stand before the congregation to minister unto them. And he have brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee, and seek ye the priesthood also?
See that?
For which cause both thou and all the company are gathered together against Yah?
He says, for which cause both you and all your company are gathered together against the Most High. Because Moses is saying, it's not me.
Yep.
You're looking at someone, you're so focused on me because you despise me. All you can see is what you despise. You can't see anything else. You can't see the hand of the Most High working because you're blind. You can only see as far as you want to see. Real quick, sis.
And they belittled their office too. And that's what Moses was saying to them. Do you think this is a small thing to be separated to come close to the Most High? You're, by trying to belittle me and work that I'm doing, you're actually belittling the separation that was placed upon you. That's a great insult in the Most High.
You shoot yourself in your own foot.
Yes.
Yeah, cutting off your nose to spite your face. You know, that's what they used to say.
Cutting off your nose to spite your face.
That's a good one. Yes.
One day you will have a gray beard. Go ahead.
All right. And verse 11, for which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against Yah. And what is Aaron that he murmured against him?
What about your boy over here? Aaron already helped you all out way back. Remember when you all begged for a calf and, you know, whatever it is? Okay. He's easy. He's bendable. Why are y'all picking on him for? Verses 12.
And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram and the sons of Eliab, which said, we will not come up.
That's another thing too. Sometimes when you try to reach out to the Hebrews to settle things and get things straightened out, they don't want to hear anything. They don't want to talk to you. Calling me, what? Stay out of, you know. They have a problem. You can't reason with them. Come out here, let's just deal with this problem. No, we don't want to deal with this thing. Okay, let's continue on.
Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us?
You alone want to be the leader over us? We're all leaders. Okay, I have good ideas. Go ahead.
Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey.
See that? We've been here for a while now. And Moses, you haven't produced any the charts, the report shows that you haven't been very productive for what we're looking for. We're looking for someone who can produce what we want. Okay, go ahead.
Or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Will thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up.
So, in other words, you're blinding the people. You're bamboozling the people. You're causing them to be blind. These people are just blindly following you. We are smarter than that. We will not come up. You promised a shalom lifestyle. We haven't seen it yet.
You promised this and you promised that. We haven't seen it yet.
We haven't seen it yet. So,
but
no
they forgot all the hardness that was in Egypt and in the slime pits.
Yes.
And the whip on top of the back. And the
Yes.
children that was dying.
Yes.
They forgot all about that. But for a few leeks and garlics and onions that will just make the food smell good, they wanted to crucify him.
You despise your blessings like Esau.
For the food, huh?
For the food.
Yes.
I guess history repeating itself.
That's it.
Let's go. Let's continue. We're almost done, family. Almost done.
Well, a lot of our people love Esau, I'm telling you.
Let's pick up some speed.
And Moses was very wroth and said unto Yahuwah, respect not thou their offering.
He got tired. At some point in time, he just got tired. He's like, don't even listen to these people. Don't listen to them. I've been doing everything possible. That guy over there has some of my spirit running around, you know, and they always targeting me. Why don't they target those guys over there? They're targeting me. Read.
I have not taken one ass from them.
Read.
Neither have I hurt one of them.
Now, if I have to ask the question, many of y'all will not even know why he even used this reference to the ass. Where in the Torah does it connect to? Let's move on. Let's move on. It's important. There's a lot of important things in there, jewels and gems and whatnot.
Exactly.
And the volume of the book is written of me.
Of me, yes.
I can show you from that point. I can show you so many different ways, but I ain't showing nobody nothing. Let's move ahead. I'm not showing.
Well, if people are not patient to wait, they
I
will
feel like
not
Moses
learn.
right now. I'm not going to show anything.
They're not going to learn. They're not going to stick
sorry.
around to learn. You know,
I'm
like
sorry.
spies, you come and spy and you don't really
I'm
care.
looking forward to retirement pretty soon. Go ahead.
And Moses said unto Korah,
Uh-huh.
be thou and all thy company before Yahuwah, thou and they, and Aaron tomorrow, and take every man his censer, and put incense in them, and bring ye before Yah every man his censer, 250 censers, thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer. And they took every man his censer and put fire in them and laid incense thereon and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. Excuse me. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the glory of Yahuwah appeared unto all the congregation. And Yah spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation.
We got them all in one spot, so you back off now, Moses.
That I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their faces and said, O Yah, the Elohim of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation?
Still pleading, huh?
Still pleading.
Read.
If you don't see the heart of Yeshua in this reading, you're never going to understand if you don't see it. This is all about Yeshua. Exactly. Exactly my point. If you don't have humility and you cannot see what's going on, if you're not using these things as your example, so you should not live ungodly, you will never get it.
Once upon a time, I had 2020 vision. Once upon a time. I should be using my 2020 vision right now to do a lot of things. You know what? Where I started getting these glasses, I'm not gonna lay everything out about my life. People don't need to know every detail about my life. Okay. Go ahead.
And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation,
remember,
saying,
Dathan didn't want to come, remember?
Yes.
So let's go look for Dathan and the rest of those guys, right? Go ahead.
And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest you be consumed in all their sins.
So this is something that we need to really look at. Because whatever ideas and spirit certain people have, I know sometimes, and I'll be straightforward with you, I am very frank. Sometimes I'm very blunt. And a lot of people don't like my style. Okay? I would say, don't do this. But a lot of people would want to know, well, why? And you want an explanation for every single thing. Sometimes, family, you don't need an explanation for everything. Sometimes the Most High wants to try and test you so you would understand. Because the Torah itself is given to us to instruct us in how things should be done. But not everybody understands the Torah. And you'd be surprised when the time comes to exercise that knowledge, it doesn't manifest itself. And you can see that really and truthfully, they don't know what they're doing. So what do you do in that situation? You have to slow down and learn. You have to learn. And when you do this, it's not stopping anyone from doing what they would like to do or whatever. And sometimes you have to stop people from what they like to do and put them in a place where they are most effective. This is what we do in business. This person is beneficial. I know you can know all the numbers, but I need you over here. You're profitable for me over here. What do you think Shaul was doing and Peter and all those men were doing? They had to put people in certain places. Let me give you one small example of how crazy some of our Hebrews are. Sometimes a Hebrew will say, for example, that certain things is Babylonish. We don't deal with that. Everything from Babylon is evil. How many of you all have heard this before? Let's see who's in the chat room. How many of you all in the chat room have heard statements about everything is Babylonish, right? If it's Babylonish, you throw it out. If it's from Babylon, throw it out. If it's from Babylon, you throw it out. Is everything in Babylon bad? Is everything in Babylon evil?
No.
Okay. All right. Now let's prove this. When Jonah was on the ship and he was asleep, and the boat was rocking back and forth, and the mariners, the people who were on the boat, crying out for help. What did the people do to find out what was the situation? What did they do? Let's see who's thinking. Anybody? Drew lots. Brother Benjamin, you're quick with the sword. They drew lots. Were those people righteous people or heathen? Let's see who's thinking. Heathen. So they were heathen casting lots. So therefore, we shouldn't use lots. Hold on, sis. You're jumping ahead, sis. Hold on. Remember, we're talking about being a tortoise here. Old and ugly. Old and ugly. Tortoise. Okay? So, Brother Benjamin, if those mariners, those captains of the ship people, Marines, were casting lots, that means lots is an evil thing. We shouldn't be casting lots. Is that correct? We shouldn't be casting lots? We shouldn't be casting lots, right? Let's go to the book of Acts.
If it's evil, that's what they said.
If it's what?
If they consider it to evil, no, you shouldn't do it. But
book of Acts. Let's see if casting lots is an evil thing. Because remember, if the pagans cast lots, we shouldn't be casting lots. It's evil.
Yes.
You know, wisdom is known of her children.
Mm-hmm.
Get me that part where Stephen, remember?
You mean it's actually Acts chapter 1 where they,
6? I think it's 6 or 5, 6. Is it chapter 1?
It's chapter 1.
Okay, let's go to chapter 1. There's another one too.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 1.
Yeah.
Let's get that.
Verse 23.
Okay, thank you. Remember, the old tortoise and the gray beards it's not as quick as finding these scriptures. So you got to throw them out after a while. Remember that, right? Okay, so let's go at verses 22.
22. Mm-hmm. Beginning from the baptism of John unto the same day that he was taken up from us, must one be ordained to be a witness with us of his resurrection.
So you have to ordain one. Okay, read on.
And they appointed two, Joseph called Barsabas, who was surnamed Justus, and Matthias.
Mm-hmm.
And they prayed and said, Thou, Yah, which knoweth the heart of all men, shew whether of these two thou hast chosen, that he may take part of this ministry and apostleship, from which Judas by transgression fell, that he might go to his own place.
Didn't the guys pray to their gods?
Yes.
And then they cast lots? Or did they cast lots and pray to the god? Which one did they do?
They prayed to the gods.
And then they cast the lots. So then these guys, when they're praying to the Most High, and then let's see what happens next. 26.
And they gave forth their lots.
Uh-huh.
And the lot fell upon Matthias, and he was numbered with the 11 apostles.
That's one example. They cast lots. Okay. So if you believe that everything that people say should be thrown out, I think you need a black magic marker and or a black highlighter and just highlight until you can't see it anymore. You have another one? Okay, sister, you want to say something? And then let's go back to Dayton and them so we can close up.
Some of the same people that will say that is evil, they will participate in everything that is in this current modern world. And if we're to have that same thing, that if it comes from Babylon, it's bad. A lot of the sources of these things that we're utilizing, they did not come from righteous people. And we're still using them for the benefit of, the Most High's work. So a lot of them are in a lot of professions. All those instructors and teachers, a lot of those works did not come from the Most High. They came from the minds of people who did not believe in Him, especially if you are in the medical field, if you're a doctor or so forth. Hippocrates, can't spell his name, Hippocrates, and all these different things, where they're getting their learning training from, like what you did with how they're doing the cadavers and cutting up people, but yet still they esteem these doctors and they esteem these people, and they're not seeing that the source of these things are not coming from the Most High. So why are you gonna try to say one is bad and then put up the other because one is ancient and one is modern? They're all from the same source.
Well, sister, much can be said on that.
Yes.
Much can be said on that. Let's take one more. Proverbs 18. That's just Psalms. Proverbs 18 and 18. And then we got to get back. No more comments. This holds everything. We got to finish up the reading, okay? Proverbs 18 and verses 18.
The Lord causeth contentions to cease.
The lot causes
Contention
contentions
to
to
cease.
cease. And what?
And parteth between the mighty.
Okay. So, again, family, the Most High outlined to us what we shouldn't do in Babylon. You don't make gods of stone and wood and worship them. That's what's going on in Babylon. But if you live in Babylon, you're going to have Babylonian sheep running around. What are you going to do? Say, I'm not going to eat the sheep? I'm not going to have no Babylonian fish. It was swimming around in Babylon, by the rivers of Babylon, so we're not going to go catch no fish.
Yes. And Paul says when you go to the
we don't want no Babylonian paper, no Babylonian toilet paper, right? Nothing.
No.
Stay the way you are, huh?
To the shambles. When you go to the shambles.
I remember what I just said. I just said we're gonna move on. Okay.
Shambles.
So just hold everything, okay? I gotta reserve some of my strength, family, for later on tonight.
Yes.
Let us go back to Numbers 16.
Yes.
And let's read verse 27.
Yes. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their children, their little children. And Moses said, hereby you shall know that Yah have sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind.
I want everyone to hear that again. It's not something you sit down and, you know what, I want to be a Torah teacher, and let me see what books I need. I need to get this book. I need a Joshua. I need the Apocrypha, certify. Let me get a whole bunch of stuff together and memorize these stuff and get myself my megaphone. Am I official now, family? Am I official? Am I part of a camp? This is the camp, Brother Jonas' camp, right? Go ahead and read. Continue.
And verse 20, what am I? Verse 29. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then Yah have not sent me. But if Yah make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up with all that appertaineth unto them, and they go down quickly into the pit, then you shall understand that these men have provoked Yahuwah. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses and all the men that appertaineth unto Korah, and all their goods. They and all that appertaineth to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them.
They feared.
For they said.
They feared or fled?
They fled.
Oh, so they just ran away, but they didn't fear.
For they said, lest the earth swallow us up also.
So they ran away. Go ahead.
And there came out a fire from Yah and consumed the 250 men that offered incense.
All right, tell you what, skip on down to verses 41.
But on the morrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, saying,
You see what happened? The next day. What can I say? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound?
Yah forbid.
Let's read.
But on the morrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, saying, You have killed the people of the Most High.
Moses killed the people. It was Moses who caused the earth to open up. See, they will never directly wave their fist towards the Most High. They always need someone to beat. You can't get the master, you find a dog, you kick the dog.
But may I say something, please?
Yes.
Why is it that when you read these things, even today, people don't understand when you speak against someone that is sharing, that is teaching you the word, you're not speaking against the person. You're speaking against the Most High, and he's hearing your voice. He's hearing what you're whispering and what you're saying. And you wonder why sometimes things doesn't go right with you, because you're not hearing yourself what you're doing.
All I can say, family, is if I always tell people this, even with marriages.
Yes.
If there's a problem between you and your wife, or husband and wife issues, if the one who brought the flesh together as one flesh has brought together the flesh as one flesh, then you need to go to that same one who brought you all together and settle that problem.
Yes.
Because that's what Moses did right here. Moses went to the Most High. He didn't settle this thing himself. He says, You're the one who brought these people together. I want you to come and settle this problem. And whatever you do, whatever you say, it's sufficient. And that's how we have to deal with stuff. You can't run behind people, beat them over the head, and try to force them to follow the right way, and have to always explain yourself to everything that you do, why you do this, why that, whatever the case may be, to justify whatever it is. You're going to find yourself always having to do the same thing every time new people coming in. It's the same thing. It's going to wear you out. What time do you have to even get some bread to eat? Everybody's on vacation and you're burning yourself out. You're the one that have to go through all kinds of financial difficulties, and they building their businesses. But when you stop and say, okay, that's enough. I need to take care of my family, because who's going to look after my family? when I'm old, who's going to take care of me? No. We don't want that. You need to stay so we can continue to sap the energy from you. Family, we have to be reasonable, because our Elohim has given us to make us a better people. And if we continue down this road, you can stop there. We don't need to read anymore. If we continue being like the foolish ones, you see, the foolish virgins, they slumbered. They were too quick to think that they can run this race on whatever that they had. The rabbit itself, if you read a story about the tortoise and the hare, he prided himself in the speed that he had. So he slept. He sit back and he slept too long, and he's like, I got time, I can catch up. His own whims. He's being very arrogant. I don't have to worry about anything. The tortoise just say, okay, I know I need to rest, but I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to keep it, one little lump at a time. Just keep it moving. And with the foolish and the wise virgins, you can see the same thing. That's why the stories are intertwined. So you can teach the children either way, it'll be the same thing. We have all the history there for us to let us know that every Passover is the same thing. We find betrayal every year. Every Passover year is betrayal.
Yes.
Every Passover there's a betrayal. I don't like it to be so, but that's what happens. Everybody wants to be part of an assembly. They hear one message. Oh, I'm ready to invest in this thing. This is a great place. And as soon as you see what it all requires, you hold on, you bite your tongue. But then when the pressure is on you, you say, no, I can't deal with this. Then you go somewhere else, and then you start bad mouthing where you were before. You ever see there's a stray animal that's on life support, basically, and you bring this animal in, you feed it, you take care of it, and then when this animal gets strengthened, it turns around and do you harm.
It bites your hand.
It do you a lot of harm.
Yeah.
It didn't have anything. It was dying. You took it out from the rain. You support it. You nourish it. You do everything. Your children became close to them and everything else. And they turn around and just do you harm for no reason at all.
Like the little boy who gathered the snake when he was a baby. And he took care of the snake and not realizing one day the snake was going to bite him.
It's just nothing new under the sun. This is why all I'm saying, I'm praying this one prayer. I want my Messiah to come. I want the true Rabbi to come, Rabbi Yehoshua to come and teach, because he's the only one that when he speaks, he's going to speak one time. Like Joshua, he's not going to reason with you.
Exactly.
He's not going to have no discussion with you. You're just going to die. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going to die. And so I'm waiting for him to teach you all things, because after all, whatever that has been taught is not good enough. It's not right. It's this and that. There's all kinds of different subversive talk. I'm not saying for everybody, but you know who you are. You know what is in your spirit. And those of you who are not guilty of anything, don't worry, because I'm not talking about you. But you know who you are, and you know what spirit you're of. And I don't have the time to chase and track down and try to, that's not me. It's not in my nature. I just got to keep it moving. At the end of the day, I've learned enough in the history of our people to know I can't sit around and lose my own salvation because of knuckleheads. Can't do it. So as we prepare ourselves for Passover, I'm hoping that it'll be something we can remember, hoping with the hope that we will be delivered one of these great days. And if we continue to fragment ourselves as people, fighting with each other, whatever it is, brothers and sisters, we'll get nowhere fast. Okay? So, with that said, I'm going to stop here. And if it's the Most High's will, I'll be back in the next few hours. But we have to stop. Okay, we have to stop. So let's have a word of prayer. I'll ask Dodge Shemuel close out with prayer. And I want to thank all of you all for listening to this review, and those who don't like it so much, well, bless your heart. May the Most High bless and keep you likewise, and cause his face to shine upon you. The Bible says to cast your bread upon the waters, and after many days you will find it. And that's all I'm going to do, is bless you and not curse. And if it's the Most High will that he will do anything, let him deal with you, whatever spirit that you're in. I could do no more. I have looked and sat down, and I said to myself, self, what else can you do? And self looked at me and says, don't you see those bags under your eye? That's enough of that. Go and smell the roses sometime. But Elder wouldn't let me go. Elder, he's supposed to release me so I can go. Elder, you have me bound. Elder, free me, Elder, please. All right, let's turn towards the east and not towards Babylon, okay? So we're not praying to the sun, we're not praying to Babylon, and we're not praying to the moon, we're not praying to the stars. Let us pray. Let's all be in one mind, Hebrews. Let's all pray.
Let us pray.
Mm-hmm.
We thank you, Heavenly Father, for this opportunity to be in your presence, to offer thanks and praise to thee. We thank you for the words. We ask you, Lord, that those who listen to your word today, that they would understand and make their calling and election sure. Keep us clean, keep us in your presence at all times, as thou shalt come with the angels, that we all will have a place with thee. Continue to be a blessing to us, that we will show ourselves light to the world, and men will walk after this light and follow thee. Thank you again. We thank you in your wonderful name, I pray. Bless the offering, bless the food, and bless our hearts again. We too thank thee. Amen.
Amen. Let the words of our mouth, the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O Yah, our strength, our Redeemer. So, family, with that said, we're going to say shalom to the house of Israel. Shalom, shalom.